ripped in half by camels by Muhammad's hit squad.
Yeah, see now, yeah, I was on the low end. I was still on the, your women are fields, plow them, treat them like flip-flops. But you're on a whole nother, you're on a whole nother level. God, dog.
And like after the dude beats her to death with the table, he says no one can fault you for what you did.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
hey.
actually, as soon as I get to an exit, bro, I'm gonna pull over and I'm gonna share it with you guys.
Okay, man, that sounds good, man. Yeah, Mr. Flynn, bro, you totally right, boy. He said did them like the Dudley Boys. You feel me? Like did them like the Dudley Boys is crazy. Yeah, man. Muhammad was in that TLC match, man. What you talking about? You gotta put him through a table. He won the match. He ain't put her through a table. He put the table through her. Ain't that some miss? Amelia, good morning. Good morning. But see, well, I don't eat bacon, so now what else you got, right? One thing I like about the way that I live is that I take away all these stupid Muslim arguments. They come up to you eat pork. No, I don't. Now what? Now what you gonna say? What's going on, man? God bless. What you got for me?
Yeah, hi. I just have one
hold
point.
Hold on one second.
Guys, don't worry about bacon. Imam Shafi said you can eat your son if you get too hungry.
All right. We're back. All right. You a Muslim, man?
Yeah, I'm Muslim.
All right. What you got for me? Does Islam honor women?
Yeah, I say yes.
Do you think it's honorable to say that a woman's testimony is half of a man's because she's deficient in the mind? Do you think women are deficient in the mind?
Yes, this is a hadith. I don't. Sometimes the hadith depend on the explanation, and there is everything about. But
in the Quran, in the Quran, wait. In the Quran, it says that you can either have two men or you can have one man and two women, indicating that a woman's witness is half that of a man. So do you think a woman's witness is only worth half of a man's witness?
Yeah, this is based on the emotion, everything. This depends on the explanation of everyone. But I'm gonna give you the fact. I'm gonna talk about the fact.
I want to talk about this first, right? Whoa. No, it doesn't depend on anything, right? It's just the Quran obviously says that a woman's witness is only half of a man's witness. Do you agree that a woman's witness is only worth half of that of a man's?
If God said that, and we know that today women react on the, based on their emotion, so I think it's okay. It's not a big problem.
Perfect. So you see no problem. So let me give you a scenario, right? So a man could literally grape a woman in front of another woman, and he wouldn't get convicted for it because it's his word against theirs. And you think that's okay?
But it depends on the judge in front of those questions. It's not very easy to just respond. It depends on the case. It has some context. It's not really easy, And I'm not a judge, but I'm gonna give you my answer about the fact about the society, Islamic society. Those questions are typically about witnesses to. My English is very difficult because my mother tongue is the French. But let me say something. The woman in Islamic society, she is not in the first line to make money to the society. For example, if you go to the Western society, everywhere in the street, you say maybe the picture of a naked woman to sell some product.
Yeah, what does that have to do with? My point is, my brother, what does that have to do with how you're now? You could argue, do women honor themselves by putting themselves up naked? Maybe not. Right, I would say no. They don't honor themselves, put themselves up naked. My point is the religion itself, not actions of individuals. The religion itself. Like I'll give you another verse. Right? Do you think this is honoring women? This is another Quran verse. Forget what people are doing in society. Another Quran verse. It says your wives are like farmland. Your wives are like farmland. So approach them as you please and send forth something good for yourselves. Do you think it's honorable to say that your wives are like farmland, so plow them as you please? You think that's honorable?
Can you give me the number of the verse?
It's Al-Baqarah 2:23.
Actually, okay, I'm gonna open my computer,
Okay.
but I wasn't ready to debate on Quran verses because I didn't know that you're gonna quote some verses from the Quran.
What you
But
thought I was gonna do? I'm talking about Islam. What you thought I was gonna do?
no, maybe if you talk about Islam, you have to talk about the fact in the Islamic country, because what Islam do is, if we read only the Quran, we have to explain the Quran. We have to interpret what we read in the Quran. And
Bro, they're treated horrible in Islamic countries. You see the real Muslims in Afghanistan, what they're doing to women?
why you take just Afghanistan? Why you don't take
Because
another
they're
country?
real Muslims. They're really following Sharia.
So you are deciding which country is real Islamic
No,
country?
we look at them and see which one's following Sharia.
So you are deciding that
No,
Afghanistan is
I'm not deciding.
No.
Your Muslim scholars are deciding.
No,
The women should not be allowed to leave the house. They should be jailed. And they also say that if they need to go gain knowledge, it can only be Quran studies, and they got to leave the house with a babysitter.
How many Islamic country in the world? Why you just take Afghanistan?
No, there's no real Muslim country in the world.
So you are deciding who is the real Muslim or who?
I'm not deciding. I'm letting your scholars.
Yeah.
I'm letting Sharia say who the real Muslims are.
That's why you have.
That was a nervous laugh, bro.
Guys. That's why you have the imagination in your head, and
okay,
you.
Let's do this, right? You said you want to get. Why don't we get some tafsir then on this 2:23? You said you want to see what the scholars have to say. What's that,
I'm getting ready to pull up his 4 schools of jurisprudence that say women shouldn't leave the house, and if they do, they need a babysitter, and if they go to learn something, it needs to only be the Quran.
Because they protect women as they can.
Oh, of course they do. They jailed them inside of their burqas in 110-degree weather.
We see the woman. The woman.
What in the world?
Guys, hold on.
Do you have to wear a black burqa in 110-degree weather? Or can you take your shirt off when you? Hold on. When you go to the ocean, do you take your shirt off and swim around in the water while your wife sits?
Yo, I just wanted y'all to see this real quick. Read this. I don't know if y'all can see this on YouTube, especially on your phone. Read this tafsir. It's nuts.
Who is the real Muslim, bro?
Well, because I study Sharia, friend.
You are not a Muslim.
Here, I study Sharia. I know what real Muslims look like. They look like Al Qaeda and the H word, and they look like ISIS. Yeah.
So Al Qaeda are the real Muslim?
Yeah, they attack the disbelievers because they disbelieve in your weird prophet.
Oh gosh. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Bro, I will flog you in Sharia.
Run.
Bro, you don't know what room
you're a
runner.
You're a runner.
So come down. So I'm speaking with you, and you take the reference as Al Qaeda to speak with me.
Here, Oscar. Let me read you this.
Those are the real Muslims.
What about Ibn Abbas? Ibn Abbas says your women are a tilth for you to cultivate. He says the vulva of your wives are plantations for your offspring. They are your plantations, so come to them as you please, from behind or in front, as long as the penetration is pundum. Bro,
you know Arab? Arabic language, Arabic language?
Okay, you gonna argue Arabic language? That's your argument?
No.
I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna get you out of here. It says what it says. Do you agree with this that I just read? Do you agree?
I'm sorry. I'm agree with what just you read. I'm agree.
So you agree that your wife is nothing but a plantation and you should plow her whenever you please.
Calm down. I'm gonna say something.
I'm calm.
Don't pull me out. No. If you translate something from Arab to English, you lose 30% of
out your head, man.
Yeah, Arabize the conversation. The Quran literally says the woman's your field, plow her however you wish.
Hey, bro, why did you drop him, man? He was explaining.
I ain't got time to hear the Arabic.
Because he's Arabizing the conversation.
I don't have time for that, bro. Just answer the questions. We ain't got time for the Arabic. I ain't got time for that, bro. Just answer the questions. Do you think your woman is a field that you should plow whenever you please?
Let me first answer the prompt first. I don't want to go straight into that. Let's first answer the prompt.
That's a part of the
prompt. On a woman?
That's a part of the prompt. That's a part of honor. Do you think I rephrase it?
Prophet Muhammad.
Do you
Prophet
think it's
Muhammad
honorable?
said.
Do you think it's honorable to say that women are fields for you to plow as you please, that their vulvas are your plantation, so you can penetrate them however you please from front or behind?
Can I answer the prompt first, and then we'll get to that
you
one?
can't. You can just answer the
Oh,
question.
he's the host.
Yeah. I'm answering this prompt.
I'm gonna give you one chance to answer. I'm gonna get you out of here, to be honest with you. Answer the question. Do you think it's honorable?
No worries, bro. You can do what you want. It's your panel.
You're right. God bless. Watch it.
All right, have a good one. And they do this because their prophet was a slave trading caravan robber, and they think they can usurp your conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, hello.
CVV, what's up, man? How you doing? You a Muslim?
Yeah, Muslim. Yep.
All right. Is it honorable to say that your women are fields and plow them as you please?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Is it honorable? Does it honor women to say they are fields to be plowed as you please?
Where does it mention that they're fields and to be plowed?
2:23.
You think that's what the verse is?
Yeah, it's 2. I think it's Al-Baqarah. I think that's what it's called. I think 2 is Al-Baqarah. 2:23.
Where Allah says, "Nisa'ukum harthun lakum fafghidu harthakum anna shi'tum."
Yeah.
That verse.
Yeah, whatever. It says
harthakum anna shi'tum. Yeah.
yeah, that's what he says in there. You agree with that?
Yeah. What's the issue in the verse?
Huh?
What's the issue in the verse?
You think women are just fields that should be plowed as you wish?
No, the verse is saying.
That's what it says.
No, the verse is saying.
That's what it says.
Not the same whatsoever. It's not the same.
That's literally what it says. Your wives are like farmland to you, so approach them as you please.
First of all, the Arabic thing does not say farmland.
Your wives are a tilth. What is a tilth?
Tilth like a covering, like a cloth.
No, it's not.
What's tilthing?
I'll tell you. Cultivation of land, tillage, the condition of tilled soil, especially in respect to suitable for sowing seeds, prepared surface soil. That's what a tilth is. Don't lie.
Okay, so there's something called an analogy. If you understood how analogies work.
Is it a good analogy to say to your wife? Would you go to your wife today and say, "Woman, you are my tilth. You are my farmland, and I will plow you as I please"? Is that a good analogy for you to say to your wife? Is that honorable?
There's not an analogy. The analogy is that your wife is tilth, meaning what? She's a soil bearer, meaning what? When you.
Why does it say plow her as you please? Why does it say that?
Because Qurtubi says women are referred to as goats, sheep, horses, and cows and camels, for all are ridden.
And no, first of all, let me explain to you the rights of women in Islam.
Bro, I'm asking you about a specific verse. I don't need you to go tell me about some imaginary rights of women in Islam. I'm asking you, do you think it's okay, right, that you plow a woman as you please? Because they're just like other animals.
If God uses the analogy, right, for someone plowing a seed into soil, for the analogy of husband having intimacy with wife, what's the issue? It's an analogy.
It says plow them as you please. Okay. So the answer is, just give me a straight answer, bro. Just say this is why I do these lies.
Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question, bro? Can I answer your question? Just let me.
I don't really know what y'all think this is, bro. I honestly don't think you quite get it. Seriously.
Hello?
How you doing, man? You a Muslim?
You're muted, bro. I know you see my comments, bro.
I don't see your comments. You a Muslim? I don't read the comments.
Deuteronomy 22:28, bro.
I'm asking you about
what happens
Islam.
when we get into... Oh, sorry, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
I don't care. It's part of your religion, though.
Wait, hold on just a second. What happens when we get into like the female circumcision in Islam, or the raping your wife and tying her up with ropes and enjoying her forcefully and stuff like that?
It's going to get real bad. They're going to say,
it's disgusting.
Go to the Arabic. Go to the Arabic. Let's read the Arabic. So do you want to answer the question, man? Do you think it's honorable for you to plow your wife like a field? Yes, no, maybe so. Got an
Me?
answer? Is it honorable to plow your life like a field?
Me?
It is honorable to plow your wife like
Are you
a
talking to
field?
me?
Yeah, you.
Deuteronomy 22:28. Read it.
Watch
Yeah, we'll cook you on that. Have a good one.
it.
How many times do we teach? How many times do we teach this a week, bro?
I'm not exaggerating. I think probably literally we go over in depth, probably 15 times. In passing, literally probably like 90. Not even exaggerating.
We need to do we need to do a short video, like 5 minutes, go over the Hebrew words, the repeat of the law in Deuteronomy 20 or Exodus 22.
Yeah. And then call it.
Right. So this is how Islam gave women their equal rights. Yep, and just refer them to the video. This is Islam giving women equal rights, everyone. Right here. The real Muslims came to Afghanistan, and they gave women their equal rights. They said, shut up, get inside of your burqas. No more talking.
Bro, stop waffling, man. Stop showing us your Facebook
Am I waffling?
likes. Stop showing us your Facebook likes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show you a source in Arabic that says that you can tie your wife up.
Before that,
get on that. Get on. Here.
Islam honors women.
Here, before you don't run this conversation. Now it says this: a disobedient wife, because she won't come to your bedroom, then one should strike his wife with a whip or a soft stick and the like, in which it causes pain and distress, but it does not result in broken bones or bloodshed. If none of this is any benefit, he should tie her up by abandonment, which is the rope, and force her to have intercourse. This is Islam.
Where is that in?
Grape your wife. Here.
Let
me show you. I keep all my sources. You got that?
What's
the
that?
link
Hadith?
Is at the top. This is your these are your fiqh books from your four scholars.
Fiqh is stories, bro. What the hell are you talking about?
Fiqh is stories?
What are you talking about? Story. This is law. This is Sharia.
Give me a hadith, bro. Give me a hadith. Or a Quran, verse in the Quran. But anyways, Prophet Muhammad said,
okay, here you go.
Who should you be good
434.
to? One second. He said, he was asked, who should you be
he said
good
it's
to?
on He said it's
and
on
he
Facebook.
Said your mother. Then he was asked, why are you not letting me speak?
Because you're not answering. You answer questions. I didn't take
you. I'm answering your prompt.
Yeah. No. Okay. I'm gonna get you out of here again. Do you want to answer the question? I'm gonna get you out of here again. This is your second time.
Don't want to answer what question? He didn't ask me a question.
Yeah, I'll ask you again. Do you think it's honorable to call your wife a field that can be plowed as you wish?
In the Bible, it says,
not the Bible. Do you think it's honorable?
The man is the head of the house.
Do you think
if it's my wife? I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. Let me speak.
Answer the question.
If the man is the head of the house, the head of the woman, like the Bible says, then and it's my wife, I can call her whatever I want, as long as it's respectful.
Do you think it's respectful to call your wife a field that should be plowed?
I'm gonna plow my wife. It's my wife. I'm a plower, yeah.
And you call her a field and say, I'm finna plow you. You think that's honorable?
It's my wife.
No problem.
I call her whatever I want.
Cool, perfect. That's the Muslim mind. It's your wife. You can call her whatever you want, right? So if you want to call her a field, she's gonna be a field, right?
Does she become a field if I call her a field?
No problem. But I just want you to say it out loud. If you call her a field, she's a field, right? She's whatever you want to call her.
It's an analogy. I don't know if you're taking it literally.
Whatever you want. No. You said whatever you want to call her.
What could it mean?
No problem. I just want you to say what you said, man. Just stand on it. You said whatever you want to call your wife, you'll call your wife that. Who cares, right?
As long as it's respectful.
All right, cool. You think it's respectful to call your wife a field? You think that's respectful?
Yeah, I'll tease her like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's respectful to call her
personally,
a field.
I can't speak for anyone else.
Okay, yeah,
I can't speak for anyone else. Because
she's
going to raise my seed, She's going to raise my seed.
Let me ask you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Good answer. Let's move on to the next one.
No, before we move on, I wanted to say something about Prophet Muhammad.
Not before that. We're going to go on to the next one.
Bro. Is it a monologue or a dialogue?
It's a monologue until I tell you to speak, and then you can speak. Does that make sense? Good, then.
Nah, bro, I'm not good with that, bro.
Well, then you can drop.
Take care, man. Take care, bro.
Go ahead.
You lot have an agenda. How many shekels you been paid?
Go ahead and drop, bro.
Why don't you talk on the Talmud? Why don't you talk on the Talmud, bro? Why don't you talk on the Talmud?
You just don't come to the lives. It's not about Islam. You only come about Islam now.
You don't talk about the Talmud. I've never seen you talking about the Jewish books.
Because you haven't come too much. You don't come a lot.
Bro, how many shekels you been paid, bro? You and Travis.
Now you gonna answer the questions? You want to answer questions or you want to get dropped? I'll let you take your pick. Which one?
What question you got for me?
All right, next one. All right. Do you think it's honorable to say women are deficient in the mind? Do you think women are deficient in the mind?
Some women are.
Generally, it didn't say some. Do you think generally women are deficient in the mind?
I think some women are, yeah.
Do you think all women are deficient in the mind?
No, and of course not, no.
So why does the Quran, why does the Hadith, why does your prophet say that the reason why a woman's testimony is worth half of that of a man is because they are deficient in the mind? He didn't say some, he said they, encompassing
I mean,
all
when we
women
look
are
at
deficient in the mind.
yeah, let me answer. When we look at the Me Too movement and, you know, the whole shebang, we see that, yes, some women are emotional and some women aren't you know, good up there in the mind. So he didn't lie.
Okay, no, he didn't say some. He said the reason, do you think all women's testimony is worth half of that of a man, right?
Do I think?
Does your religion teach that a woman's testimony is half of that of a man?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And what's the reason that the prophet gave as to why a woman's testimony is half of that of a man?
Because of emotions, because of the period, because of pregnancy.
He said it very simply.
Have you seen the tafsir for that, bro?
He said, no. I'm asking you about the hadith where he
Pull up
said
the tafsir for that, bro.
The hadith, they specifically asked him, why is a woman's testimony worth half that of a man? He said it is because of the deficiency in her mind.
And I just told you the deficiency,
so
the emotions.
Here, friend, you're up here freestyling. So Al-Tabari says this when because Eve seduced Adam into. Here, get on that mute button. So Al-Tabari tells us why, right? He says that God made women stupid because she tempted Adam. Now it is my obligation to make her bleed once a month, and as she made this tree bleed, I also must make her stupid, although I created her to be intelligent, and she must suffer pregnancy and birth pains, although I made it easy for them to give birth. If it were not for Eve, the women of this world would not menstruate and be intelligent. So
that's your Bible, bro. We
the
don't
history
believe
of
that. Your
Al-Tabari
Bible
says women
says
are
that.
dumb.
Your Bible says because she ate from the
this
tree.
is the history of Al-Tabari. Here, Al-Tabari. Yeah, this is Al-Tabari, friend.
Bro,
women are created.
Bro. Can you give me anything from the Quran that says women
I'm
are
not brother.
stupid?
You're a pagan.
I'm a pagan. 3-in-1 shampoos, and you're telling me about paganism.
Your prophet said your
3-in-1 shampoo, and you're telling me about paganism.
Your prophet said women are stupid, friend.
Okay.
So the Quran verse says that Muhammad does not speak on his own. Yeah. So when Muhammad doesn't speak on his own, and he says women are dumb and deficient in their intelligence,
Quran,
that was orchestrated by your God. That's your Quran verse.
Where in Tabri?
Muhammad does not speak.
Where in Tabri?
Muhammad does not speak of his on his own.
Where in Tabri?
Hold on just a second.
I can't believe you called me a pagan after 3-in-1 shampoo. It's crazy. Head and shoulders.
Please don't get us started on everything that you guys do over there in Saudi Arabia, okay?
Oh, here comes another Zionist.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, bro. How many shekels you both getting paid?
How
many shekels you getting paid?
This is so funny. We got more money than you, okay?
How many shekels you being paid?
Here,
We're young entrepreneurs.
Let me deal.
We don't
with
need
this
Israel
really
to pay us.
Let me just deal with
Israeli. You sound Israeli.
With this really quick for you, okay? Here you go. Right, watch this. I don't like Israel, nor do I like Judaism. Judaism is a false religion full of pagans, just like Islam. You got any more questions?
And go read my bio.
What's wrong with you?
You think the Zionists pay me to have that on my bio?
What's wrong with you?
So, host, you don't like Israel?
Yeah?
Guys, I'm getting the source, man.
I do not like Israel. No, I do not like
you
Israel.
condemn what they're doing in Palestine.
Travis.
Yes, I condemn what Israel's doing. Yes. I also condemn what Hamas is doing.
I never see you talking about the Talmud, bro. That's a gold mine of information you could spread to the world.
The Talmud is in your Quran. Stop.
This is true.
Oh, here we go. We found him.
The Talmud is a direct influence of your Quran.
We found the imposter. We found the imposter,
the Talmud,
guys.
He's right. He's not wrong.
See how no one else got pissed off?
He's not wrong.
The Talmud is in your Quran.
You can never compare the Talmud to the Quran, you Jew. You can never compare the Talmud to the Quran.
It's in there.
I can show the Talmud in your Quran.
You can show me 3-year-olds being raped because their hymen will grow back. You can show me that.
Yeah.
You can show me
by your prophet, yes. Yeah.
The foreskin thing. You can show me.
Yeah, your prophet. Yeah, I can show your prophet lusted after a kid sucking on a titty. and says if she
What?
grows up, I'll marry her. He was lusting after a girl sucking on a titty in Ibn Asaq.
Bro, you waffle so hard, it's embarrassing.
Now,
Behave
you,
yourself.
you ask him about a 3-year-old.
Well, you bring up
Your
points
prophet
and
got a vision of a 3-year-old.
Yeah, no. Go, give it to me. Give it to me.
Actually, worse. She was a toddler wrapped in silk.
So it's in page 280 to 281, History of Al-Tabari, Volume 1. Let me show everyone. Literally says God made women stupid because she seduced Adam to sin. Now, and then I'm going to show you the Talmud in your Quran.
Bro, okay.
Tractate
Please
37a
show
makes
me
an
the
appearance in
Talmud.
chapter 5, verse 30 to 32 of your Quran. I'm going to.
What does it say? What does it say?
Don't you know how many receipts I got, bro?
What does it say?
This the wrong person to ask about this. I'll be honest.
What you shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have done this, bro, because you're almost
Show
the
me the
entire
Talmud in the
Talmud is
Quran,
in your
bro.
Quran.
Where it says
Get
you
on
can
that
grape
mute
a
button. We'll
3-year-old
show
and
you
the hymen
right,
will repair itself.
right after. Here, hold on. I'll show you. Hold tight. All right, so here's Al-Tabari, History of Al-Tabari, Volume 1, page 280 to 281. God said, I must make her bleed once a month if it wasn't for them. I created her intelligent, although I must make her suffer pregnancy. I made her stupid, and if it were not for Eve, women of this world would not menstruate and would be intelligent. That's History of Al-Tabari, Volume 1, page 281. Now I'm going to show you the Talmud in your Quran. I don't think you know who you're talking to, bro.
Got the right one today.
So get ready. Some Jews were sitting around writing a commentary on Genesis 4, and your Quran stole it.
Liam,
I'll pull over this 80,000-pound truck and run it through your Quran.
good morning, Liam, man. Good to see you actually in the live, Liam. I see you commenting on some of the clips, but it's good to see you in the live, brother. Okay. TikTok.
Well, it's probably bigger than your prophet stuffing it in a 9-year-old. So science says that a girl's vajayjay is 2 inches deep at the age of 9. For your prophet not to hurt Aisha, he had to have a penis less than 2 inches. Give me just a second, bro.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, that speaks on a lot of the insecurities we be seeing on this app. The kind of
little man syndrome.
How are you guys?
What's up, man? How you doing, Bless?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good, man. What you got for me today?
Yes, I'm just here to debunk the claim about you mentioning the half brains.
Yeah, the half brain. Go ahead. I feel like this is deja vu for some reason. I feel like this.
Hey, Al-Khattab, can you hold on just a second so I can show this Talmud?
No, I'm speaking to Eusebius.
Well, no, you
well, he said that I can show.
Yeah, you can hold on a second. Go ahead, Travis. You can hold on.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, just give me just a second, bro. The dude said the Talmud's in the Quran. It was verbatim stolen and stuck in your Quran. So this is going to be Tractate 30. Everyone pay attention. This is a Quran verse. The court tells the witnesses, not God. Therefore, Adam was the first man created alone to teach you that if anyone unalives one soul from the Jewish people, it ascribes him credit as if he's destroyed an entire world. Adam was the first person. If anyone saves one soul from the Jewish people, the verse ascribes him credit as he saved the entire world. This is Tractate 37a. Hold on. It shows up in your Quran. This is rabbinical commentary, everyone. Because we ordained for the children of Israel that whoever unalives one person as if he's unalived all mankind, and whoever saves one person as if he's saved all mankind. The commentary of the Jews show up in your Quran, and this is one example of 30 I can show right now.
Okay.
One example. Don't knock the Talmud because the Jews writing commentaries show up in your Quran.
Well, bam.
Okay, it's not actually the Talmud that's referenced in the Quran, it's the Torah, but I'm here to answer the.
That's not in the Torah, my man.
Topic.
That's not in the Torah.
No, prove that. Prove it.
I'm here to answer the question, the title.
No. Al-Khattab, you made a claim. Show it in the Torah. This is rabbinical commentary on the Torah.
You said that verse is about the Torah, but that's not in the Torah, man.
No, I said the Quran.
Yeah, show it in the
reference
Torah.
That reference that he just showed you
The
in the
Quran stole this
Quran,
from the
it's not
Talmud.
in the Torah, it's in the Talmud.
Who said it's stolen?
This is like Ibn Kathir having coffee outside of Starbucks and your God walking past and saying, "I like your commentary. Put that in my book." I just showed that it came from the Talmud.
Where does it say we copied it?
I just showed you where it copied from.
It's not copied. How could it have been copied?
How? Your prophet was in ear, chapter 9, verse 61 of the Quran.
Chapter 9, verse 61. What about it?
The people were accusing Muhammad of repeating everything he heard. That's literally the Talmud, everyone, in the Quran.
He only got revelation from when he was in Mount Hira.
What?
I'm sorry, Frank. Can you break up your words some? Because it sounds like a whole sentence all strung together.
Yeah, so the Quran only speaks about the Torah. And first of all, your claim that we copied the Torah doesn't even make sense.
No, you didn't. You copied the Talmud, man.
Based on what evidence? What does it mean?
He just showed you.
Just showed you.
Just because there's a correlation doesn't mean that
it's not correlation. It's exact wording.
It's not exactly. Anyways, I'm here to answer the question on screen.
I would concede too if I was you. I'd do this 30 more times in front of everyone.
I came here to answer the question on screen.
All right. Do you think it's honorable to say that your women are deficient in the mind?
Okay, so if you read the verse, you've read the verse, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you know the context behind it?
Yeah.
So you know the story?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the story?
Don't worry about it. Just answer the question, man. Do you not finna go
I
back and forth?
I want to know if you know the story or not.
Do you think women are deficient in the mind, or was Muhammad a liar? Simple question.
Yeah, so I want to know if you know the story or not.
I'm gonna drop. I'm
gonna
drop you. Do you think women are deficient in the mind, like Muhammad said, or not?
Nope.
No. So you think
No.
Muhammad's a liar?
Muhammad didn't say this. Allah revealed it, but anyway.
Muhammad. Okay, so no problem. Allah. That's even worse.
Before
Allah.
I
Wait, my man. So you're saying Allah is a liar?
No.
All right. So the Hadith
You're
says
taking the verse out of context.
the Hadith. It's not a verse. I'm reading Hadith. Hadith says this.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, Hadith. A Hadith. Someone went to the Prophet and they asked him. They said, "Well, the Prophet asked someone." He said, "Isn't a woman's testimony half of that of a man?" He said, "Yes. This is because of the deficiency in their mind." Verbatim.
Yeah, and so this is referencing to a verse in the Quran where
Either way. No, I don't.
Listen.
I really don't think y'all know me very well. I don't know if y'all used to folks who let y'all control the conversation or what. I don't know what you think this is, man. Of course I can't listen. I just want a straight answer to a question. I'm gonna keep going over.
Let's talk about if
Tranquil,
the Bible
we're only gonna talk about what I want to talk about, or I'm gonna drop you. Does that mean you're not gonna get to talk about anything else? I want to make that perfect before you waste your time. Do you agree with Muhammad that women are deficient in the mind?
Deficient in the mind. Where does it say that? What's the hadith?
Okay, I'll give you the hadith. Perfect. Thank you. The first one at least asked for the hadith. Great.
They'd be like, "What's the topic?" It can't get any bigger over top of your head.
I'm telling you. That's why I put it so big.
But that the Bible burns and kills and
don't
beheads
worry
women
about that another day.
Okay, what's the hadith?
Your prophet caught people on fire, unalive women and children too.
Stop lying, man. Stop lying. You filthy Paul, son of
Yeah,
Paul.
your prophet filthy sleeping with kids on playgrounds is weird, dude.
If you make your God angry, he throws shit in your face. Maliachi 2-3. He throws shit in your face, you son of a...
demon. Listen to that demon.
Here, let's show it to
but hey, you know what's wild?
Maliachi?
Hey, you know what's wild? I can show that the Muhammad's followers were sniffing Aisha's camel poo and saying, "Ooh, it smells like musk," and they're rubbing it in their face.
Sahih al-Bukhari, 2658. The Prophet said, "Isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man?" The woman said, "Yes." He said, "This is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind." Easy. Do you agree? He didn't say that one woman's mind was deficient. He said, no, a woman's witness is equal to half of that of a man. Why? Because of the deficiency of her mind. Somebody said, you agree, now what? Once again, I don't like, do y'all think I'm trying to, like, what do you mean, now what? That's the whole point. The whole point, I want good women who are thinking about, they done watched too many pro-pally lives, and they're considering joining Islam. I want them to get on YouTube and type in, does Islam honor women? I want them to find this video, and I want them to see you saying, yes, I think women are deficient in the mind. And I want them to say, hell no. Hell no. That's the point. That's
So Hasmo,
that's the purpose. Go ahead.
just for like giggles, he said Malachi, but he meant Malachi.
Oh, that's crazy. Mariaki.
And the fact that they take everything out of context, like their king right now, Orthodox Muslim, also known as lesbiano, the one that threatens young girls with rape. That's all he does on his lives all day. Is he lies on church fathers, he lies on our sources, he lies on the Bible, he takes the verses out of context. Tell him to come here and defend Islam instead of running silly little lives that you lot just follow because you're a bunch of puppets and none of you read the Bible and have no idea what it's saying. That's why you're agreeing with him like little puppies in the chat. Sorry, go ahead. Now, mind you, I watch every one of his lives. As he's live, I'm debunking everything he's saying. He's not dismantling Christianity. He's just making you lot dumber. Okay, I'm done. Good morning, Maccabiah.
Good morning, everybody.
He said that our Bible. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Travis. Go ahead.
He said that our Bible orders to burn women, and no, it doesn't. Anyway. It was your prophet that caught Kanana on fire and said, "Where's the money at?" You know, your prophet was literally torturing people for money. This is called a war crime today.
All right, so I have a question.
All right, Ben, what's your question, man?
What's up? First of all, I just found your channel a couple of days ago. Love the work that you're doing. God bless you.
God bless.
All right, so I'm looking at so your question is about respect for women according to Islam, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm looking up the narrative about the 72 virgins in heaven or whatever, but that's not an official stance. However, what I'm looking at, it says that the Quranic scholars do agree that every man in heaven will have a minimum of 2 wives, correct?
I would argue more, but yeah, 2 is fine.
Yeah, so we could see like what is their concept or their idea of woman based on their idea of paradise.
That's true.
It's
always a good question.
It's almost as though they're running a harem in paradise.
Yes. Yes, this is true.
So anybody who's trying to make the argument that there is respect for women and things like that, all you got to do is put up their idea of paradise.
Ask a Muslim woman, what do you get in heaven?
Exactly.
A tent. So you don't see your husband having sex with his other wives. That's what you get. You're right. That should tell you all you need to know about Islam and women. Men, they're gonna get wide-eyed houries. They're gonna get all the liquor. Just whatever you want. Eternally erect penises.
Women, see-through skin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever you need.
Eternally erect penises.
Women, what do you get? A tent. So you can't see the other one.
Meanwhile, in the Bible, it said there's neither Jew nor Greek nor male nor female, and we are one in Christ.
That's true.
So there's a stark difference between the Islamic view and the Christian view.
That's true.
And the man gets an eternal erection, and the women get 1 mile wide butts, and every orgasm. There's a source that says every orgasm lasts over like 70 years, which is really freaking weird, by the way.
That was suck. Right? Yo, that was suck.
Could never reach the end, bro.
Oh my gosh.
What about the little boys?
That's hell. That's not heaven.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. But yeah, Michael right.
Oh, and the women get their hymens repaired every day. They get
Yeah.
they get to experience that pain of being deflowered every single day, all over again.
Wait, guys, hold on real quick. 515 in the chat. Do you hear what these guys are saying up here? Is this the same Jannah that you pray that your mom ends up in one day? Is this what you want happening to your mom?
You know, 515, you are the epitome, and I want to get to Macca's comment, but I want to say something, right? You are the epitome of a weak man. I don't do this often, but I'll do it for you. Because I've been sitting up here talking cash money for over 40 minutes, because I went live on YouTube probably 20 minutes after I got started on TikTok. You ain't said nothing to me like that. No eggs, unmarried. Well, you ain't said that to me. Why would you say it to my sister? Do you know why? Because you're just like your prophet. You're a weak man. You're very weak. You won't say much to me. You're a very weak man. You're less than one. You're just like your prophet. I sit up here, me and Travis, both of us, two grown men, sit up here and talk cash money every day. Every day I talk cash money. I ain't lying. 3 hours a day I do this. You ain't said nothing to me other than you used to do Pro Pally Lives. You used to do Pro Pally Lives. My sister come up, then now you Big Bam Bigelow. Now you a bad man.
Bro, I gotta show you guys how Muhammad dealt with people like Sajida, because he had a thing where girls like overpowered him and he needed to have them silenced because they were stronger than him. Let me show you guys some of these examples really fast. This is freaking disgusting, man. So here's a girl that used to make fun of Muhammad, and this is what he has done to her. And this is in Al-Tabari Volume 8. Listen to this, guys. Muhammad's followers during blah 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 this lady suffered a cruel death. She was very old lady. Muhammad, they had her legs tied with ropes, and then they tied her between two camels until they split her in two. This is a very, very old lady, according to Al-Tabari, right? And he has the camels run in opposite directions, and they rip this old lady in half. Now, here's another example of Sajidas being dealt with. So, it says, oh, this is after Muhammad. Oh, and then Muhammad marries her daughter.
That's crazy work.
Muhammad takes that lady that they had ripped in half and marries her daughter. But here's another example of a blind man going into a room and murdering. Can you say that word on TikTok or no? Unaliving.
Unaliving is better. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here's the death of Asma, and she was unalived with her children breastfeeding on her. She used to revile Islam, offend the prophet, hurt his little baby feelings, and instigate people against him. She composed verses that hurt Muhammad's feelings, and he came into her at night, entered the house. Her children were sleeping around her. There was one she was suckling, breastfeeding a child. He searched for her with his hand because he was blind. He separated the child from her. He thrust his sword through her chest till it pierced up into her back. And then Muhammad said, "No one can fault you. No one can fault you for what you did to her." This is how Muhammad dealt with his people that didn't like Muhammad. Here's another example where a man beats a woman to death with a table for lampooning, making fun of Muhammad with poetry. A woman from Banu, blah, 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 she wrote poetry lampooning the prophet. Now, listen to this. It says, Muhammad, it upset him. He said, "Who will deal with her for me?" A man among her people said, "I will, messenger of Allah." She was a seller of dates, so he went to her and said, "Do you have any dates?" He's getting ready to trick her to her own murder. She said, "Yes." So she showed him some dates, and he said, "I want something better than this." So she went inside to show him, and he followed her and looked right and left, but he did not see anything except a small table, and he kept hitting her head until he unalived her. Then he went to the prophet, and the messenger of Allah said, "I have taken care." He said, "I've taken care of her for you." The prophet said, "The validity of what you have done is something no one can dispute." Muhammad had women unalive for making fun of him because he had the feelings of a 3-year-old child. Jesus says, "Bless those that persecute you. Pray for your enemy. Show them show them love. Muhammad taught, if they say something bad about you, like nenny, nenny, boo boo, stick your head in doo doo, beat them to death with a table. Every one of these are Islamic sources.
Hey Ben, turn your what are you watching us live? Ben, you there? Ben. Hello, Ben? Ben. All right, Ben watching us. He ain't paying attention. He actually on the live. All right. Any more Muslims want to come up that's not I ain't gonna say that word because it's gonna get me banned. But I'll just go back and scroll up and see what my brother Izar said in the chat. Anyone coming that's not that, just know, somebody said, just know you can preach in TikTok, but you have to be nice. You want to do it in church. Yeah, man, this ain't a sermon, big dog. So this is what there's a difference between a sermon and apologetics. That ain't the same thing, right? So we do lessons, we do sermons, Sabbath lessons, we do Bible studies, and of course, this ain't the conversation, right? That we have there. This ain't that though. Yeah, of course. You don't normally go into church and start talking about Islam. It's not normally what you do because you're talking to Christians in church. You ain't talking to Muslims, right? So yeah, definitely.
You know what's even worse about the death of Asma? It's she wrote songs about Muhammad because he unalived a 120-year-old man who used to make fun of Muhammad. The man was of great age, 120 years old, was unalived because he had lampooned Muhammad. This is making fun of him. The deed was done by Salam, blah, blah, blah. Muhammad said, who will deal with this rascal for me? The unaliving of such an old man moved the poetess Asma to compose disrespectful verses about Muhammad. And she too was assassinated. So the 120-year-old man who was 120 years old, your prophet couldn't handle the old man making fun of him. And then she was like, well, he unalived him. I hate Muhammad. So she started making verses about Muhammad. He unalived her too.
Crazy work.
Go. Come on.
Yeah,
Muhammad
for real.
was filthy.
Disgusting. All right. You said you had a Ben. You said you had another point you want to make, brother?
Yeah. So
right.
I don't know if you recall this years ago. So like if we want to look at what's the real idea of Islam, right? We should observe how they treat the population within an Islamic state. For example, like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Now I recall cases where Islamic women or women within Muslim states would be killed. Like there was one case where there was
Unalive.
a girl, she had gotten involved with like a British soldier, and her own father and brothers killed her because that
Unalive.
was
You
the
gotta say
shame.
Ben.
Unalive.
I'm
Unalive.
on
My
TikTok. They're
apologies.
unalive. Yeah. You good.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
unalive. My apologies.
You good.
Right?
You good.
They unalived this woman because she got involved with somebody who was not of the Islamic faith.
Yeah.
You understand? So if we're gonna look at their idea of women and how they treat women, we can't really look at the West like the United States of America because this is not an Islamic state. We don't have Sharia law. You want to look at what is their real idea, like the apex of their ideology and how they want to treat the population and treat other people, you have to look at their countries.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
how do they behave and treat women? You already addressed it about having to wear these garbs dressed from top to bottom in all black in broad daylight, even though it's like 103 degrees outside, you know. But then at the same time, if they do something that the men in their family deem unfit, they have righteous cause according to the law of their land that they can actually kill the woman in their own family.
Yeah, that's true.
So if they're going to talk about these are our ideas on how we treat women and it is fair and this, that, and the third, we can't go based off of what we see here in the West, in the United States of America, Canada, or any of that. You have to look at their countries and see how they behave.
You're right, man. For sure. For sure, you're right, brother. For sure, you're right.
All right, peace,
See you,
brother.
brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
God bless, man. All right, anyone Muslim in the chat? I want to show you something. Look on YouTube, right? Look at this. Look at this right here. He puts up Leviticus chapter 12, verses 1-5. Says that if a woman gives birth to a male child, she'll be unclean for 40 days, and if she gives birth to a female child, she'll be unclean for 80 days. Now, we have said the Quran calls women deficient in the mind. We have said that the Quran says that your women are fields, plow them as you wish. Travis have shown women getting ripped apart, women getting beat to death with tables, and many other things, right? Women can be tied and forced in bed in their marriages. The best he can come with is a woman can't approach the temple after she have a baby, and the time is different between a man and a boy and a girl child. This is when I say my problems
on female mutilation.
Yes.
So.
Like my problems aren't your problems. Like if this is what you got to respond to us when we said we won. That's what you got. We won. That's it. We won. All right. But let's keep going. Hit the request button, man. Come up if you're a Muslim. You say Islam was the first religion to give women rights. Yes. The first one to give women rights to get beat up because they don't listen to their husbands. The first woman to give women's rights to a divorce, yet they can't take anything with them in a divorce, and they got to have a good reason, yet their husband can just literally say, their husband, a woman got the whole process, go get it approved, and then she don't get to take none with her. The man just say, talak, talak, talak. Over with. Islam was the first religion to give women's rights to get used up until the time they're 40, and then their husband can divorce them, replace them with somebody younger just by saying talak, talak, talak. Great rights. Amazing rights, guys. Great rights. Lena, you a Muslim?
Ex-Muslim.
Ex-Muslim. God bless you. Is something that you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I left Islam, but because I didn't believe in the supernatural things that were said there, and also because of unequal women rights. But I wouldn't go as far as still believing in another religion, because believing in just supernatural things is still doesn't make sense.
Why?
What's the proof that that's not a lie that was just written by another human?
The thousands of prophecies that have came to pass in the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean,
If that happened before, why is not happening still to this day?
it is. Prophecy is being fulfilled.
How?
How? By people waking up to the gospel, his gospel being preached to the four corners of the earth. You have people to this day that are still preaching his gospel, taking his gospel to the four corners of the earth, regardless of if they face death or not. I mean, we see that the truth is coming to pass.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you something that's undisprovable. Watch this. Isaiah was born 700 years before Jesus Christ.
Facts.
Isaiah perfectly prophesied the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ and the reason why it happened 700 years before. Do you think anything can do that but God?
Could you please explain that? I'm not a native English speaker.
Okay. I'm gonna read it to you. I'm gonna take some time, guys. Excuse me, but I'm gonna do this anyway. I feel like this is more important. I'm gonna take some time really quick. All right, just a couple minutes. Bear with me. All right. Isaiah 53. I'm just gonna read a couple different things from it, right? Hold on. Let me get out of the NIV. All right. It says, who has believed our report, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? Then it goes on down. It says, surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him as stricken, smitten by God and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We all like sheep have gone astray. We turn everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who will declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people he was stricken, and they made his grave with the wicked, but with the rich at his death, because he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He has put him to grief. When you make his soul an offering of sin. And it goes on down and it says, because he poured out his soul unto death, he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bore the sins of many and made intercessions for the transgressors. This perfectly
get Psalms 22 too.
Yeah, definitely. This perfectly predicts the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ and the purpose in which it happened. And Isaiah was born, lived 700 years before Jesus Christ walked the earth. Do you think anyone could do that but God, Lena? Could anyone else predict this? Could a man predict this to this extent?
I'm not sure I understood everything, but predicting something, I just don't know the circumstances. Was the book later amended, or someone amended it, or the story changed?
We have an intact. I'm going to tell you this. We have an intact copy of Isaiah. Actually, we have the actual copy of it, and it existed before Jesus Christ ever walked the face of the earth. And it has that exact verse almost verbatim to what I just read. And it existed. We have the physical copy that existed before Christ ever walked the earth. We have the physical copy we can read. It's called the Great Isaiah Scroll. We actually have multiple physical copies, to be honest.
That still doesn't explain the existence of God to me.
Okay. Let me try one more. Maka wanted this. Let's give you Psalms 22. I want you to look at this. I want you to read this. I'm just going to read you a couple different things from it, okay? This is David. Now, David is about 900 to 1,000 years before Christ.
You can show her Psalms 22 and 16. That's the scripture that I wanted.
Yeah. It says, for dogs have surrounded me. The congregation of the wicked has enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. I can count all my bones. They look and stare at me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots.
And who does that fit perfectly? That fits Christ. All of the things that they describe, his hands and his feet being pierced, them dividing his clothes for lots, meaning, them, paying for his clothes pretty much. So ultimately,
they literally cast lots. They gambled for his clothing. The soldiers literally cast lots for his clothing in verbatim.
Things came to pass. Yeah. That's why we believe him.
She said something interesting. Salam al-Masih.
Salam al-Masih.
Salam al-Masih.
She said something very interesting that doesn't prove that God exists. Then she might have a particular, criteria or requirement that she acquired in order for her to believe so. It's better to ask her, what is that, than, trying to convince her otherwise, because she can make all different alibis. Oh, she left. Okay. Well, too bad.
But any more Muslims, man, if you want to hit the request button, come up and tell me, does Islam honor women? Does Islam honor women in any way? Come up, hit the request button. You have to explain to me how a couple verses from the Quran, a couple hadith, a couple things in fiqh bring honor to women, or does it take the honor away? And you come up and you'll tell me, we built a college for women, and see, women have rights over a man's money. You can't pay me enough to call me a field that you want to plow. You can't pay me enough to call me deficient in the mind. You can't pay me enough to call me flip-flops. You can't pay me enough to beat me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't enough money in the world for this to make sense. Quite frankly, the crazy part about Islam is it's almost a blueprint for how to be abusive, right? Like, depend on me for your substance, but I can beat you, talk to you any kind of way I want. It is the blueprint for an abusive relationship. Tell the woman, hey, baby, quit your job.
In America, it's the combination of, I mean, it's Islam, but hey, it's gonna land you in prison. You want DV? Muhammad gonna get you a DV charge in America, my guy, because they're not going for it.
But it's the outline.
Facts.
It's the outline for abuse. Depend completely on me for your substance, yet I'm gonna beat you and abuse you verbally every day of your life. And then if you try to leave me, you're gonna leave with nothing. If you listen to a man who abuses women, this is what he's gonna tell him. It's gonna sound sweet at the beginning. Hey, baby, listen, I'm gonna take care of you. Don't worry about it. My money, your money. Then one day you piss him off. He fears disobedience. He think you might have cheated on him. He beat you. You don't want to have sex. When you tell you, no, you my field. You my woman. I'll plow you when I wish. Then you say, I'm gonna leave you. What you gonna leave with? You ain't bring nothing in. You ain't gonna take nothing out. And ain't nobody gonna believe you. It is the blueprint for abuse.
And you know what the crazy thing is? In chapter 434, we always miss the second part where they're allowed to withhold sex as a form of a punishment, or like, what else did they call it? What's the other word that they use? Not punishment. Whatever. Anyways, it's a form of punishment that men can carry out on their women. But if a woman does it, like if a woman says no to her husband, the angels will curse her until morning time.
That is true.
Yeah.
Salim.
Men aren't allowed to do that either, man.
Oh, we got angry Salim on the panel. Yeah. I hope you're in a better mood today.
I always am, man.
Oh,
men
really?
Men aren't allowed to do that
You're
either.
always
it says it in 434 verbatim. It says it's just don't share beds with them. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is a woman has rights and a man has, and the husband has rights. And a husband as well, even according to Ibn Taymiyyah, etc., he has to satisfy the wife's needs. If he doesn't, she can divorce him.
Unless he fears disobedience, then he has every right to not share beds with her, right?
Yeah, I know that's a different topic, though, bro. Yeah,
saying no, that's literally what we were talking about. Literally, we're talking about 434. That was literally the conversation. What are you talking about? It's a different conversation.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That is a different thing. I'm saying that's a different issue, but I'm saying it's a man and
that's the only issue we were discussing. 434. What are you talking? That's literally the verse we're talking
because
about.
when you talk about the woman gets sin, I'm replying to that part, bro. Because I just joined, I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, but the men don't get sin if they're doing it in terms of 434, right? It's no sin. What does the Quran say that if a man refuses his wife, that he's going to be cursed all night by angels? Is that in the Quran or the Hadith?
So when it comes to, like I said, I'm not talking about 434, etc., where they've had a dispute and an issue. Yeah. But if the husband does not, Ibn Taymiyyah says that a husband, at minimum, it should be once every 4 months, or until, even if the wife needs it more, he has to satisfy her needs. If he doesn't, that is grounds for her to ask for a divorce. She can divorce the man. So if he's, for example, sick, right, and he can't satisfy her, he's sterile, if he's got some other issues, like his character is bad, right, he's not religious or whatever, he's got bad character, the woman can, that is enough grounds for her to ask for a divorce.
If a man doesn't have sex with his wife, does the angels curse him all night?
Yeah, he will be sinful, bro. I don't know if the verse is there for exact the same thing for the man, but yes, he'll be sinful if he's denying his wife for no reason as well.
But the angels don't curse him all night.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know the exact verse, man. Or
now, where's the verse?
Did you say he's sinful? You said he's sinful?
He will be sinful, correct? Yeah.
According to Ibn Taymiyyah?
So, bro, according to Ibn Taymiyyah, if a husband is not satisfying his wife,
I heard you. I'm just affirming. I'm solidifying a point that really something new. Do you have reference that it's a sin?
Yeah, bro. If you just go to Islam Q&A, I can send you the link if you want on Islam Q&A. If you just put in Can a husband deny his wife, something on those lines?
No, okay, dude, understand what I'm asking for.
I'm just
I
answering, bro.
understand.
I'm just
Do you
answering, bro.
understand what I'm asking?
No. I've got your answer, bro. I said I can send you the link, and it has the information in there. You can read it.
Okay, I will agree it's wrong, maybe, but is it a sin considered a sin? That's my contention. Because this is new, man. If you are saying it's an actual sin, I want to see that verbiage. I want to see Ibn Taymiyyah saying it's a sin.
Yeah.
You have that. You have Ibn Taymiyyah saying it's an actual sin. Or are you because look, Eusebius, this is the issue with Muslims. They start inserting these words that bigger than their heads. They start saying, "Oh, it's a sin, it's a sin." Then you read the passage, you read the articles, you read Ibn Taymiyyah. Where's that? Oh, it's just that's what I understand. Oh, really? You understand where I'm going with this, Eusebius, right?
Like I said, I'll send you the link, and then you can have a look through it.
So please answer the question: does Ibn Taymiyyah say it's a sin?
I mean, I can, if you want to hold, I can look through my notes again, right, to see exactly what it says, right? But the fact that he's denying his wife,
oh my gosh,
I'm sure it will be a sin. But like I'm saying to you, I will send you the link, man.
Does Ibn Taymiyyah say it's a sin? Yes or no?
I will send you the link and you can read it. I don't want to comment on something like if I'm like I said, if you want,
so
I can
go look at your notes again. Go look at your notes.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll hold.
We'll wait for you, Salim. We'll wait for you. Go ahead.
Consider the sin.
We'll hold.
Go ahead. We'll wait for you.
And I'll send you the stuff.
Just go look at your notes. We'll wait.
Yeah, you can go to Islam Q&A and just type it in and look at yourself.
Just go look at your notes. Look at your notes and come back, or go on mute and
y'all
go on Islam Q&A and read it.
Y'all.
You're the one that's presenting it, so you're supposed to provide it.
Oh boy, hey, Mr. Flynn took it back, but he said Cliff Notes, boy. Whoo! Don't take me back to English class, boy. I almost gave me a panic attack. But hey,
hey, what is he trying to say is a sin according to Ibn Taymiyyah?
If a husband doesn't satisfy his wife.
Oh. Well, I don't think the husband's going to be cursed all night by the angels.
Exactly.
Yeah, and plus, even if she wants a divorce and he doesn't want it, she has to pay ransom for that divorce. Chapter 2, verse 229. She has to pay her way out of that marriage.
Yo, bro, you know you really a slave? It says you got to pay ransom. That's what you pay to get a slave back.
You know?
Where does it say you have to pay anything?
Chapter 2, verse 229.
But look, you're not even allowed to divorce in Christianity. So what are you even talking about, man? You have to be married to the person.
That is beautiful,
he
actually.
He can abuse you. Hold on.
No, he can't abuse you. No,
One second, I know you're going to start interrupting now.
Don't lie.
The Bible,
Don't
right?
lie. Don't lie.
The topic ain't the Bible here.
Watch this, man.
Go to Ephesians 5 and read from 22 down. And you'll see that if anyone, a wife or a husband, right, if they go away from what is our responsibility in the marriage, that means they're abandoning the faith, okay? And the 4 A's where divorce is married, under those guidelines, is adultery, abandonment, which abuse and addiction will fall under. So don't say that Christian women are supposed to be getting abused. Actually, Christian men are supposed to lay down their lives for us like Jesus laid down his life for the church. So don't speak on something that you don't know.
Okay, so when you say lay down the life, yeah, we're supposed to lay down our lives to defend our
you're supposed to beat your wife. You beat your wife. Beat your wife.
I don't think so.
Give me one source where Allah tells you that you're supposed to lay down your life for your wife. Yalla.
What are you talking about? You're a shaheed, man. If you lay down your wife for your lay down your life for your property.
Show me the verse.
One second. If you lay down your life for your property,
get the source.
Your family or your household, of course you're shaheed, man.
What you say, Travis?
Of course you're shaheed. Okay.
All right, so why you go get the sources you're never going to find? Can I show you some more sources?
Travis, I'm not a liar like you, bro. I'll give you every source.
You're not going to do anything.
So really quick, asked you for a source, then you just told us to go find it. You ain't never bring it to us.
I'll go look for it.
Go get it. So here, we're going to show you where your God curses little cancer patients. Get on that mute button.
Okay, but hold on 1 second, right? Can I please reply back to what was said?
Yeah, go get the source.
Hold on 1 second.
Hold on.
So when you talk about divorce,
hit that mute button.
1 second, Travis, man. When you talk,
get on that mute button.
When you talk about divorce,
Salim, go get the source.
My question is, can they remarry?
You can only do one thing at a time, friend. So I want everyone to pay attention. This is where Muhammad curses little cancer kids, right? This is Sahih Muslim 2123. Now, when you go through a cancer ward, my wife suffered for cancer for 7 years. You go through the cancer ward, little girls want to look like other little girls their age. They're sick, they lose their hair and stuff like that, right? Here's where Muhammad curses those cancer patients. Aisha reported that a girl of the Ansar who had fallen ill, just like the little girls in the cancer hospital, had lost their hair and was married. They thought of adding false hair to her head, so they asked Allah's messenger about this. He said, "Cursed be the woman who adds false hair and the woman who asks for it."
That's wild.
So not only is the person donating the false hair is cursed by Allah, the little cancer girl gets cursed by Allah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
hello.
crazy work. Oh my goodness.
CCV, man, what you need, boss? What you want?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I read the Bible, and there's a lot of places where women are.
Don't worry about the Bible. The topic's not about the Bible.
What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. They ain't talking about nothing. Jose, man, what you need today, boss?
So, man, well, what's today's topic again? I want to hear it.
Does Islam honor women?
Okay, yes, they do.
Is it honorable to say a woman is deficient in the mind?
Deficient in the mind?
Yeah.
A woman, they're not very their mind is not as strong as a man's mind.
So you would agree a woman is deficient in the mind and her testimony is worth half of a man's testimony?
Yes, because they cover their eyes and they look away through dramatic events.
Perfect. So a man could grape a woman in front of another woman, and he would get off scot-free. A man could grape a woman in front of her, force himself upon her sexually in front of her adult daughter, and he wouldn't go to jail for it because there is their word against his. You think that's correct?
Well, I've never read that before, but no, that's not correct.
That is correct, right? Because a woman's testimony is only worth half of a man's testimony. So two women.
Are you reading that from scripture?
Yeah, yes, in the Quran.
Okay, but are you talking about raping in front of a daughter? Where's that?
Either way, in any case, a woman's testimony is only worth half of that of a man. That's it.
She needs two women for it to be one full testimony.
Yeah, so they need a woman and a half at least. So you need three women to overpower one man.
Do you guys understand that? Or
understand what, man?
Like what that means is that, like, let's say there's a car accident, you know, a woman.
No, it goes with anything, man. You can't give your specific. No, I'm asking about this specific example. In this specific example, a woman could get raped in front of her adult female daughter, and the man could not be prosecuted because her testimony is only worth half of his.
Well, if the woman has witnesses, then of course the guy's gonna go to jail.
Not if she only has one woman witness, she won't go to jail because that's their word against his is equal. It's not overpowering.
That's why
it's their word against his.
It's the woman that got raped, whatever you're saying, and then her witness.
Yeah, but that's two. That only equals one man. So the one man say he didn't do it, and the one equal to one man, two women say she did. Cancel just over. Just cancel each other out. You need another woman. You need a third woman.
Right. Well, what about the not scary events? Can one woman be a witness for her daughter's marriage? This is not something she'd say, "Oh my God, it's a car wreck," and turn her head. She can't even validate her own daughter's marriage. There has to be two women or one man.
Well, are we talking about modern times or what?
We're talking about right Islam now. Doesn't change, man.
Are we talking about the Quran or are we talking about what you all believe or
the Quran?
Oh my gosh.
What are you talking? The Quran.
Okay, what's it called? Yeah, man. I mean, the women part.
Right now, can a woman?
Hold on, me as a man, I really can't speak for the women because a lot of women follow Islam by choice, you know, and that is a woman. I have a penis.
So why did you request? The whole topic is about women. Okay, cool. So let me get you out of here because the whole topic is about women. You're wasting my time.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to talk about women or not? Okay, perfect. Have a good day. This guy comes up every day. Mexican guy. You know what his problem is? He keep yelling white man. White man. Let me tell you something, Jose, while you here. Jose, do you know what was the first nation to accept Christianity? The first number one nation to accept Christianity? Armenia. Now, some people say Armenians are white. They're not white. Armenians, not white. They're not white people. That's the first nation to accept Christianity. The second nation to accept Christianity is Ethiopia. That's the second nation to accept Christianity. The third nation to accept Christianity is Alexandria. Third nation to accept Christianity. And then you get on that line, eventually you get to Rome. Right? So you have two African nations that accept Christianity before any white nation adopts it as its entire, no disrespect to white people, just saying. So it's kind of wild for you to always have this white. The hadith that you won't read, right? Muhammad said you cannot call him black. You call Muhammad black, you going to hell. Muhammad was white. He was a white slave owner. So you make no sense. Muhammad was a white slave owner. What's wrong with you? Literally, what you dislike was Muhammad. I ain't lying. You people don't make any sense.
And
So I
I'd like
found
to
a
add
reference.
just real quick, I'd like to add that Christianity was in Africa for 1,000 years before the first colonizer ships even got there. So I don't even know what they're talking about when they say that.
Guy's off his rocker.
So yeah, go kick rocks. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Paul.
so when no one's running from you just can't bring the source in. When we find the source, you usually are lying about it.
Hello?
I just want to say this because before we distance ourselves really far from Salim's reference about the sinning if a man doesn't sleep with his wife. You see, Islam is a religion of loopholes. Like it's literally a loophole in a loophole in a loophole. Like it's amazing what I just read. So in Surah Al-Baqarah, which is chapter 2, verse 226, a man is allowed to cease intercourse with his wife for 4 months, but anything extended to 4 months is haram, or it's not supposed to. Well, it's actually not permissible.
Bro.
That being said, Travis, look at this.
Yeah, I know that.
If I'm like want to like abuse loopholes, which every mind could work the same way. I don't think I'm unique to this. 4 months pass, do it once, then do it in another 4 months, and then you know what I mean. Like you don't have to have cessation of a year entirely. You can just be like, all right, let's just do this once, and then 4 months later do the same thing, and on and on and on, and you're subjugating her to living in hell. Let's say, and then there's 4 months. There's 4 months that you are scot free if you actually refuse to have intercourse with your wife.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Is someone talking?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh, sorry.
You good? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the women in Sharia are granted 3 nights, according to Imam Shafi, before the husband starts punching her upside the head, right? She's granted 3 nights for like an illness or something like that. But after that, the whole time though, the whole 3 nights, the angels are cursing her all night until the morning. But after this, the men are allowed to throw their wives in the bed and enjoy them by force, even if they tie them up with ropes. And we showed one of the sources here from Sharia. Listen to this, everyone. Pay attention. One should strike his wife with a whip or soft stick and the like, and if it causes pain and distress, but don't break her bones or shed her blood. If none of this is of any benefit, tie her up. He should tie her up by abandonment, which is the rope, and force her to have intercourse. The women in this religion aren't granted such concessions because that is his right. This is Sharia. These are fiqh books saying the men, there's no the concept of marital graping in Islam because the women are your field and you can plow them when and however you want. This is Islam, everyone.
Islam. Oh, did you want something else, man?
No, listen, I want to speak.
CCV, you want to talk about Islam? What you came up here for, bro?
If I speak, can I speak without being brought down?
I have no clue. It depends on what you say.
Okay, I'm going to talk about, all right, every time I speak, y'all bring me down.
Yeah, because you talk about something that's not the topic. I'm not just here to let you talk about you. If you want to talk about something that's not the topic, then you can go open a live and talk about it.
Yeah, it is about the topic. It is about the topic. It's about women.
Yeah, sure.
Honoring women.
Sure.
Is it about Islam honoring women?
No, it's about how you
Okay,
guys
then
sit
get
there.
lost, dummy.
No.
Have a good one.
If you would like to, if you would like to talk about something else, bro, you can hit the live. You can like hit just go live. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, again, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do a live tomorrow. I'm gonna say, why aren't you a Christian? Why are you a Muslim? CCV is going to come to the live and he's not going to request. Because I'm gonna get you everything tomorrow is fair game. Every single verse you want to bring from the Bible, any verse you want to bring, I'll let you bring it. Y'all never come. You never bring these verses when I say feel free, come bring the verses. You only do it when I already have a topic. Doesn't make any sense. You're crazy people.
CCV is a proof, like prophet, like followers. Muhammad was illiterate. This guy is illiterate too. It says, does Islam honor women? And he just can't read that. He literally
Can I
can't
answer
read that
as a Muslim?
Sure, but please prove to us that you have reading skills,
Okay.
right? Does
Right. Is
Islam
it
honor
honoring
In
for
women?
our Quran, it says, heaven lies at your mother's feet. Hold on.
Okay.
Heaven lies at your mother's feet.
Okay.
When someone told our Prophet Muhammad, who comes first? He said his mother. Who comes second? His mother. Who comes third? His mother. Who comes fourth? His mother. Who comes fifth?
Oh my gosh.
His
Okay.
father. No, don't say, oh my gosh, bro. I'm not
Let
here. You tell
him
me to
finish.
prove it
Let
to
him
you.
finish. Let him
So
finish.
I'm
Because I'm
proving
gonna
it
watch
to
him.
you.
Come on.
I
All right,
want to
now,
watch him.
let me
I want
tell
to
you
watch him
something.
swarm. No. I'll let you get it off. Now let me ask you a question. I'll let you say what you want now.
Yeah.
Is it honoring a woman to say she's a field and you can plow her when you wish?
No.
That's in your Quran.
I don't believe in that. My wife.
That's in
my wife is my
Abu.
queen. My wife is my queen. My sisters are treated.
If you just
treated
listen,
like
I
queens.
listen to you now. Just listen.
Okay.
That's the Quran. The Quran says your wives are like fields. Plow them as you wish. So you say, you disagree with
It
Allah?
also says that in the Bible.
No. Don't run to the Bible. I'll let you get it off. Now
I'm
just
just saying. It also says
just
that in the
answer
Bible.
my question. Do you disagree with Allah that your wives are like fields and you can plow them when you wish?
Why am I gonna disagree with God?
Perfect. So you agree that wives are like fields and you can plow them if you wish.
Okay. Do you
answer the question,
agree?
my man? Just answer the
No,
question.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, so you don't agree with Allah. You don't agree with. So you're not a Muslim. You just left
I'm not a Muslim.
Islam.
So wait. So
you just left
Islam. Can I ask you the same question about Christianity?
Sure. Give me.
Can I ask you the same
I'll oblige
question?
you. I'll oblige you really quick. Give me the verse.
Do you agree? Do you agree with Jesus Christ? Do you agree with Jesus Christ when he said, when he told, what was his name, that there are people that are about to come into your house. Give them your daughter. Let them make their way with them. Do you agree with Jesus?
Yeah, give me the verse.
Do you agree with Jesus?
Give us the verse.
No.
Give us the verse.
Give me the verse, and
Talking
we'll read
about
it.
the Old Testament.
No. Don't tell him what he's talking about because he don't even know what he's talking about. Make him
Yeah.
get it. Make him do his
He's
work.
got to Google it.
Sorry.
So while he's
right,
going,
sorry.
while he's going and finding that,
Wait. Why did you
get on that mute
Give
button
me
and go
the
get that
verse. Just give me the verse you're talking about. We'll read it. We'll go over it. I'll tell you. I agree. Give me the verse.
Don't do too many things at once. You guys have single digit IQs. So while he does that, when we go back to heaven lying at the feet of the mother, I think it would be disrespectful if that mother is a 6-year-old child bride consummated by a 53-year-old man.
This is true.
So I want to make sure we go back to that point.
This is true.
Wow. So basically, this is
My
turning
man,
to Islamophobia.
get me the
verse. No. Now this is turning to Islam.
No, we're not Islamophobes. We're not scared to go. We've been confining.
If you give me the chance,
get the verse.
Go get it. Don't do too many things at once, bro. We are not Islamophobic.
Bro,
We've
listen.
Get on that mute. Where's the verse?
Bro, can I give you the verse without you muting me?
Yeah, what's the verse? Name it. What is it?
Okay. I'm a.
He's probably still talking.
But
I ain't even mute him. He muted himself. He left the screen.
I didn't mute myself. Listen, bro.
What's the verse,
if you
bro?
focus more on your health, then
do you got the verse?
Okay, I'm fat now. What's the verse, bro? Like, come on, man.
I can show Muhammad was fat and short, and he had to penetrate a 9-year-old because he was inadequate.
Hasmo, can you add a hand sign to that every single time you
Wow. So
say
this
it?
is what
Can I
this
do
is
what
what
now?
you are.
Go
You are
Like
get
I'm
the.
fat and
this is
handsome.
what you are
I will.
approving.
I will.
Yes,
I will
Go
add.
get
thank
the
you.
verse, weirdo.
Get the verse, man.
Wow. So listen, are you gonna stop?
Just raise your hand. Just
Where's the verse, bro? Come on, man. What you doing?
when you get the verse.
Listen, House Stephen. Yeah, I'm gonna call you a House Stephen.
Now you're racist. So I'm fat
Listen,
and you're calling me a
PDF.
slave. So like, do you think like I'm live, bro? I promise I'll probably get 300 or so. Thank be to God. We're doing a little better. I'll probably get 300, 400 views on this video.
House Stephen is
People-
not calling you a house slave.
Yeah,
House
people like you are the reason why I do these lives. So you can come on here and people can see Islam. People now they're seeing exactly what Islam is. You're Islam.
Stephen is not calling you a slave. Stop throwing words in my
You're
mouth.
Islam.
Stop throwing words.
Get the verse.
Get the verse, bro. Get the verse. Come on, man. What are you doing? Get the verse.
Abu, how about you just go down and raise your hand when you find the verse?
That's actually a good idea. Just come in when you get the verse, put it in the chat. You got the verse. That's actually a good idea.
It's too much for him to do two things at once.
Look at this this numpty here. He thinks that he can just say, just because I don't say the exact words, it doesn't mean that I'm saying them.
Exactly.
Dude, like just like Travis can call you a single digit IQ, it doesn't necessarily then means that you are as dumb as hell. Just because you're saying that terminology, house, and starting with an S and then saying a name, that is denoting exactly what UCB has said. Like, they don't play this game.
No. What he mean?
You're not that smart.
No, it's worse, Pop, because it's literally a movie called The Django, or not The Django. That was stupid. Called Django.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, about slaves.
Yeah. Okay.
And Stephen was a literal slave, a literal house slave. So he is literally like not just kind of using a random word.
Right.
He's literally calling me a slave, a house slave.
Yeah, and just to say house, like X, that means you're a property of that house. Like you're saying, this is not relevant to you, but like a house dog, house cat, house, etc. That means it's a property of the house. Like you're not that smart to say that this doesn't mean that. Like this is crazy.
Right. Muhammad was the OG of house slaves, right? You remember Aunt Joshua, who he called a slave ship? Also, Bilal, Muhammad would sleep in late and make Bilal go do the call of prayers. Muhammad's yawning and he's laying there and he's like, Bilal, get up and go do that call to prayer, house slave. You know, so your prophet is the one that started this crap, bro.
Phone World, you just said Muslims ain't supposed to come up here. Why you came up? What you need?
Well, just to warn my Muslim brothers on here to read chapter 4, verse 140.
Okay.
We cannot participate in these types of conversations.
You
where
participating, bro.
God is being made fun of.
You participating.
So I'm coming up here to warn people that they need to go back and read.
You participating
that
right now.
we cannot participate with people
You
that
participating.
are making fun of prophets.
Here
of
you
God.
are.
You're participating.
So take me off. Just a warning to my Muslim
gonna-
brothers.
I'm gonna-
Please read chapter 40,
You participating.
verse 1, chapter 4, verse 140.
You're participating, man. Right now, you're participating. You're still here. Okay, now you're not participating anymore. All right, so good.
Muhammad came up with these verses. Muhammad came up with these verses when he was getting flogged by Christians and Jews in debates. So he had to resort to mubahalas and don't talk to them because they're mean people.
The Damasco 42, man, you a Muslim? Damasco 42, you a Muslim? Hello, come back. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. 10, 9.
What's the verse he quoted? I'm curious.
Who?
That guy. He
I don't
quoted
even remember,
the verse.
bro.
What
Chapter
was-
40, verse something. I wouldn't even listen.
Yo, you can send me your address, bro.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Me?
Nah, he's talking to me. That was Mac.
Oh.
I can send it to you, bro.
I would love to know your address, Travis, but I wasn't talking to you, bro, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I might stop by and visit though if you shoot me your address though, Travis.
Yeah, man, I'd love to have you. Are you Muslim?
Nah. Nah, he ain't Muslim.
He's a brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're saying, St. Origin was talking.
Yeah.
Well, it's Muslims coming from having extra saucy wings, so you guys got to do the finger sucking verses.
That's a fact. And you know what?
We're gonna. I'm gonna cook for you, but we're having saucy wings.
The hell is my address?
Halal wings.
But hey, you know what else too? I think I'm making mandatory if a Muslim ever come over to use the bathroom to see if you actually wipe your behind with rocks. I think there's a couple different things we gotta figure out.
Yeah, so are you letting me speak or are you just don't be on every time?
It depends on the same thing, bro.
Topic?
Yeah.
Can you read the topic,
Can
please?
you have a discussion?
Can you read the topic? Can you read the topic?
I read the
want to
topic.
make sure
Yes.
you're not.
All right. So let me ask you a question. We'll get started, right? Is it honorable to your women to call them a field that
Okay,
can be plowed?
okay. Sorry?
Is it honorable to call women a field that can be plowed whenever you please? Is that honorable?
It's just analogy is being used.
Is it honorable? Is it an honorable analogy?
Sorry?
Is it an honorable analogy?
That's how you feel about
I'm
honorable
asking.
is how you feel about it.
I'm asking you. Do you think it's honorable? So like, do you
Yeah, I
think
do.
you're? So
I don't think it's a bad thing.
you don't
Analogy.
think you don't think your wife have a problem with you saying, "Baby, you're a field. I'm gonna plow you when I please."
No, I don't think there's an issue in it.
Okay, perfect. So good. I'm glad. Thanks. So
Just how in your Bible says, the Bible says, I am a wall and my breasts are like towers.
Yeah, so I don't think the woman, most of their women wouldn't even know the analogy, right? Because they're little kids. They would say, okay, that's great.
No.
That's true.
In your Bible says,
So,
the Bible says,
she'd be like, what's a field and what's
Song of
plowing?
Solomon, Song of Solomon, the woman says, I am a wall and breasts like towers.
I thought Muhammad was in Song of Solomon.
No, I'm just saying here it says, I am a wall
The
and
other
my
day you
breasts are
said
like
Muhammad
towers.
was in the Song of Solomon.
No, I'm just saying your Bible.
But why are you in the
same
Bible,
way.
bro? We're
No, I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
Islam.
Let's go again.
Okay.
Let's go for number 2, right? Do you think it's
So I'm
honorable?
saying-
Do you think it's honorable to say that women are deficient in the mind?
If you understand that part correctly, then yes, I will say it is.
Okay, so you would tell your wife, baby, you're deficient in the mind.
And I'll explain to her why.
And you would explain to her exactly why she's deficient in the mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, so but you do agree that women are deficient in the
with
mind.
a higher IQ than you.
I'll explain to her why.
That's stupid.
Okay, all right, so cool. So you think it's not disrespectful. So if I tell you right now, dude, you're deficient in the mind, that's respect, that's honorable, that's honoring you?
If you explain it to me and you understand, then yeah, I'm insisting.
You're deficient in the mind because you're a Muslim. Is that honoring you?
Sorry?
If I say you're deficient in the mind because you're a Muslim, is that honoring you?
That's not what it means. No one says you're deficient in mind because you're Muslim. You're deficient in mind because of A, B, and C, and D, not because
No,
you're being
it
Muslim.
literally just says because she's a woman. It says the hadith. It just says because women are deficient in the mind. That's all
Okay,
it
and
says.
can you look at the explanation of the hadith?
Of
Can I
the,
explain it
it
to you?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right?
Okay,
Either way.
so now you don't want to listen.
Yeah,
Though. Now you don't want to listen.
Are all women
So now you don't
deficient?
want to listen.
Yeah, are all women
If you
deficient?
let me explain to you, you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. Let me explain to you.
Are all women deficient in the mind?
Can I explain it to you?
Just answer the question. Are all
Can I explain
women?
it to you?
Just answer the question. Are all women deficient in the mind?
It's not a yes or no answer. I have to explain it to
Yeah,
you.
you can't just answer. Is Muhammad a liar?
No, he's not a liar.
Okay, did Muhammad say all women are deficient in the mind?
Yes, he did.
So would that mean that all women are deficient in the mind?
Can I explain what that means though?
Just answer the question and I'll let you explain. Are all women deficient in the mind?
Yes, they are. But
Okay,
after
go
my
ahead.
explanation.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let me explain the explanation. The explanation is when can I talk about Travis is giggling like a girl? Be quiet, please. Be quiet. Listen.
No, I'm just Muhammad
Let me
called your
explain.
mother stupid, and there's an
Let me
explanation
explain.
for
Let me
it.
explain. Let me explain. Number one is that during the prayers when the woman is on her menses, right? She's deficient, meaning when she's on her menses. There's times in the month where she does not pray, meaning she's deficient in her faith in that sense.
No. It doesn't say in her faith. It says deficient. It says they're deficient in the mind. It
We're
explains
talking
why
about
they're
faith.
deficient. No, it doesn't.
Talking about faith.
It says mind because this verse is about witnesses. It wouldn't have nothing to do with your faith about a witness.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
It speaks about how that's the testimony, right, of two women is one of them.
Bro, there are multiple women in this live who have a higher IQ than you.
No problem. Okay, good to
So
have
for you to say that their mind is deficient is stupid.
My female
That's
cat
dumb.
has.
It's not. I'm not saying they're deficient. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm saying that this is regards to
Why does Muhammad say they're dumb in the mind?
the issue with you guys want A, B, C, D. Okay, this is
No,
A,
what
this,
does Muhammad say? Why does he say they're dumb? Why does Muhammad say they're deficient in the mind, friend? Go ahead.
Let me explain it to you.
Why would Muhammad
The
say
reason is because the testimony of a woman is not equal to testimony of a man. It's that simple.
Why is it not equal?
Why?
Because that's how the legislation is. Because women, number one,
they're deficient in the mind. No. Why did Muhammad? Let's read the hadith. I just want to read it because it's like you're ignoring what Muhammad himself gave you. Why a test? Let me just put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen for the guys.
We can go talk about the Bible as well.
CVV, we already showed that Al-Tabari said that women are stupid, that God made women stupid. Al-Tabari says this.
The Bible doesn't let women have inheritance.
CCV. Let's just read, right? The prophet said...
The Bible don't let women speak in churches.
About the Bible, we're talking about Islam, dummy.
The prophet said, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man? The woman said, yes. The prophet said, this is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind. Why is a woman's testimony worth half of that of a man? Because she's stupid. She's deficient in the mind. She ain't all there. Half a brain, according to Muhammad, not according to me. A lot of women smarter than me.
And we already covered Al-Tabari saying in volume 1, page 280 and 281 that God made women stupid after they deceived Adam. Because they're dumb, he made them stupid, guys.
You know the craziest part? Go ahead, Travis. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, it's over. It's literally because God made women stupid for tempting Eve. Or tempting Adam.
Somebody in the comments, shout out to my sister. She put us in the comments, not my actual sister, but my sister in Christ. She said, this is rich from coming from a guy who was illiterate. You know how crazy you got to be illiterate and to tell somebody else they deficient in the mind? You can't read. You deficient in the mind yourself personally. But you gonna tell somebody else they deficient in the mind?
How many Muslims say that a day? You guys can't read. Well, neither could your prophet.
What? That's crazy work. All right, CCV, do you want to just answer the question honestly now? Did Muhammad say the reason why women's testimony is worth half that of a man is because they're deficient in the mind? You probably still talking, ain't it? Hey, CCV. You there? You there, CCV? Right, CCV not there no more. He ain't responding. CCV, I'm going to give you 5, 4.
This is a CVV.
All right.
Can you read?
CCV, CVV. Nah, I'm just like your prophet. Can't read, boss. Ikra, you know?
So you can't read?
Nah,
okay, that's good to know.
I'm just like your prophet. Can't read. All right. But
we're following the sunnah of your prophet.
Then become Muslim then.
Yeah, we are. We're not reading. So this is history of Al-Tabari. I'll show it again. This is the history of Al-Tabari, where this is the reason that woman's stupid. Because Eve tempted a man, he said, I should make her bleed now once like she made every month like she made this tree bleed, and I must make her what? Stupid, although I created her intelligent. If it were not for Eve, the women of this world would not menstruate and be intelligent. This is why a woman's testimony is half of a man's, because God made the women stupid.
Well, he left. Smart man. He got up out of here. But brother, for future reference, you should leave before you as a Muslim man tell all the women in the world they deficient in the mind because your God says so. You know, once again, I keep repeating this, but I don't think y'all believe me. The only reason I run these lives is for people like CVV, whatever his name was. All right, that's the only reason I run them, because I like them to come up and just to say stuff and just let people watch it. Just let people watch it and see exactly what they think of you. Watch it.
These are easy topics. We haven't got to, is it honoring women to have like little baby Aisha circumcised? Oof. We haven't even got to the hard stuff yet.
Oof. What they say, don't do it too much because it's gonna mess up the pleasure of the man, right?
Yeah, don't cut too severely. It's better for the man.
Hit the request button, guys. Feel free to come up. All right. We probably got at least another 20 minutes if we can. We'll see. Come up and tell me, does Islam honor women? Does Islam honor women? Like Travis said, we can go a little deeper. Go ahead, Travis.
Oh, they don't know about the female circumcision. So the Gambia was actually voting to reenact female circumcision, which had been voted against in their country. They were voting to bring it back because of what happened to poor Aisha. So Aisha was circumcised, and then we have schools of fiqh that are saying, like Imam Shafi says, it's obligatory. So these people are, debating whether they, start butchering their little girls again. And in the article, the girl had hers done. She was held down, 2 people on each limb, and then they come in with a rusty razor and did hers, and then she watched her sister bleed out after her sister's was done. And this is all because of this is in the Sunnah of Muhammad and Aisha, and it's in their fiqh books. So let me just give one example because I don't want people to think we're lying. So I'll show where little baby Aisha was circumcised, and then I'll show a fiqh book saying that it should be done to girls.
Hey guys, if you're here, go ahead, Travis. My bad.
Oh, this religion's disgusting. Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, listen, guys, if you're here and you haven't subbed to the YouTube yet, links in the bio. Click on the link tree. It's the first one. It says like Nazarene Remnants lives here. Go sub to the YouTube, man, so you can check out all the videos. If you miss the first half of the live, just know I got called a racist term at least twice in every live early in it. Okay, so go catch up, watch it. Clips every day, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nazarene Remnants with Oblias. Hit the sub button, man. You want to say something, Matt?
Oh no, my bad. I know I was unmuted.
All right, here we go.
That hadith is. He said that hadith is daif. I can show you this. I can show you this at least in 10 different hadith. Muhammad. All right, so blah 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 told the Prophet, said to the women who used to perform circumcision on girls in Medina, do not cut too severely, that it is better for the woman and more desirable for the husband. Abu Dawood transmitted it, saying this was weak, and I'm going to show you Sahih transmissions of this because Aisha had her genitalia mutilated. So Aisha, this is now. Oops, sorry. Yep, this is Sahih. This is Sunnah Ibn Majah 608, narrated baby mama Aisha, the one that used to play with dolls. When the 2 circumcised parts meet, then the bath is obligatory. The messenger of Allah and I did that, and we bathed. The 2 circumcised parts meet. Now, if this is daif, why does Imam Malik say female circumcision is praiseworthy? It is recommended. This is Imam Shafi says it's obligatory. Let me show Imam Shafi really quick. I think I have it up here. The Ghusl is when the 2 circumcised parts meet. Here's Imam Nawawi. The circumcision of the woman is affected by the removal of the upper part of the vagina. This is Nawawi from the Shafi school, guys. We have their fiqh books teaching them how to mutilate their little daughters. That's not very honoring.
Not at all. My question always is, right? Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just going to say this is a very hard topic for Muslims. Yes. Like even Muslim women now are aware of the fact that it is discriminated against them, but they would rather live in such, status than discover what's on the other side. I don't know if you guys see like the behavior of afraid of jumping to the other side. And I think that's where Muslims in Islam are.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, this is what I can't get, right? I do not get, a woman ever converting to Islam, especially if they read up on it. But number 2, I don't see how you as a woman learn these things about Islam. Learn about the child marriage, learn about the FGM, female genital mutilation, learn about the 434. You learn all these things, right? 424, 4 wives, and all these horrible things that you're like a field that'll be plowed. And maybe you do live through it yourself. Like maybe you just say, I don't want to lose my family. I'll suffer through it. But why would you leave your daughter to go through this? You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, have the strength for your daughter. Don't put her through this hellhole of a religion. This is crazy to me.
They're just devices for sexual gratification. Yes. Think about this, women. You got to walk around with your eyes covered because the man might be a horny, ravenous animal and look at you. The husbands get 4 wives. What do you get? You get stuck in the house and told to shut up, and you stay in there and don't go out without a babysitter. Yes. This religion is crazy. They give permission if they fear rebellion to go upside your head. Do you got the same permission?
Fear. They just gotta fear it. You ain't even gotta do nothing. Imagine that. You ain't even gotta do nothing. Well, you know what? I thought you might cheat on me tomorrow.
You wake up and look at him the wrong way, and he just smacked the hell out your ass.
Right. Well, yeah. Imagine Muhammad, upside Aisha when he punched her in the chest. Were you out there swinging with another boy on the playground? You know what were you doing playing with that kid on the merry-go-round? You're my wife.
In fact, what exactly could Muhammad? What exactly could Aisha do to make Muhammad upset? He playing with another boy at the playground?
Exactly. Exactly, bro.
That's funny. Oh, man.
I saw you out there swinging with that 10-year-old. The hell is this, Aisha? Come here. Did you let him play with your dolls? Did you let him play with your dolls? I can't believe you let him play with your dolls. Come here. I'm a little scared to let you up. Anybody put ye lover, you finna call me a bad word, ain't you?
Where's the mishwak? Get my mishwak.
What I'm saying,
bring the mishwak.
Read Quran 4:34. Read what that says.
Yeah, we know that verse. It say beat them.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool enough. Cooler. All right. I'm gonna drop you though. But I'm glad you brought that up. Muhammad, what up?
Yeah. How you doing?
Blessed, man. How are you?
All right. I mean, what is it? What is it that really irks you about Islam? I don't understand why you're attacking Islam and why
I'll give you,
is it?
I'll give you a couple reasons. One reason is Islam says that women are deficient in the mind and their testimony is only worth half that of a man. So I don't appreciate that. Another reason is the prophet, your prophet, he married a 6-year-old girl and he had sex with her when she was 9. I don't like that.
Oh, now she's 6 now?
Yeah, she was 6 when he married her, 9 when he consummated the marriage. I also don't like the fact that in 434.
So the hadith says, what are you talking about?
I also don't like in 434 where it says you can beat your wife. I don't like 424 where it says you can have sex with slaves. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like. It's not just one thing.
Okay. You know, in Islam it says, "Lakum dinukum waliyadin." To you is your religion, and to me is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I follow Islam, no matter how much you try to discredit Islam.
That's fine.
Islam is the most religion. People are coming into Islam in big numbers.
Yeah, do you got anything else?
Islam. Let me finish. Islam, we raise our children.
Have a good day. God bless you. You raise your children in a death cult. What's up, Brother Rob?
Hey, what's up? God bless you.
God bless you, brother.
Hey, I want to know.
God bless, brother. God bless.
I want to know why the Muslim brother here in humanity, why he's using abrogated verses, because chapter 109, ayah 6, lakum dinakum waliya din, for you your religion, for me is mine, has been abrogated according to all the scholars by chapter 9, ayah 5, the ayah of the sword. So why would you use an abrogated verse to deceive the audience?
He gone.
Any answer?
He ain't up here no more.
He is no. You see what they do, guys? You see when they are weak,
he did the Muslim shuffle.
Yeah, when they are weak, and they know they are weak because the West owns them, right? The West owns the Muslims right now. They are very weak. They'll use abrogated verses that are still in the Quran. Yes, don't get me wrong, but why would you use it? Because you're weak.
Yeah.
But the moment they get the upper hand, they conquer the entire planet and they enslave everyone and everybody, and they force jizya on the Jews and the Christians, there is no need for lakum dinakum waliya din. For you, your religion, and for me is mine. Do you see the deception right there? This is the beauty of the religion of Satan, aka Allah, and his false prophet.
Yeah. Touche. Exactly.
So do not allow any Muslim, guys, brothers and sisters, do not allow any Muslim to get away with the murder and lies when they quote abrogated verses. For example, chapter 2, 256, brother, Eusebius,
Yeah.
256, there is no compulsion in religion, is also abrogated by chapter 9.
Yes.
Much later chapter abrogated the previous ayahs. Why? Because Muhammad was weak. But when he gathered himself an army and he started to rob caravans, things started to change. So this is what Muslims don't know, or they do know, but they will use it to deceive you. The concept of abrogation, without the concept of abrogation in the Quran contradicts itself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Surah 9. The violence.
Surah 9, Surah 5, the much later chapters. Chapter 8 is another very, very violent chapter. What Muslims don't dare to talk about in front of us. They rather go to the Meccan period chapters that are filled with peaceful Meccan period ayahs. But hold on. Chapter 9, ayah 5 on itself. Chapter 9, verse 5, abrogated more than 124 peaceful Meccan period ayahs, and some of them are still in the Quran. Just one ayah, just one verse abrogates more than 124 peaceful Meccan period ayahs when Muhammad was weak.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go, guys. Queenie, you're a Muslim?
Hi.
How old are you? How old are you, Queenie?
Hi, can you hear me?
Y'all can hear you.
Hi.
What you got going on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You okay?
Hi, yes. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, so I do come from a Muslim background, but I'm not practicing.
Okay.
And I'm not practicing because I somehow feel that Islam is not compatible with secular values and with liberal ideals, and that is very problematic to me. So the thing is, I do somehow feel that Islam is very hostile towards women, and not only towards women, also towards the so-called non-believers. Because I'll tell you why. If you look at the scholars of Islam, and especially those who came after Muhammad, the ones that they call the Tabi'in and the Tabi'in and all of those early scholars, they actually coexisted during a time in Arabia where the Arab pagans were very hostile towards women. And I think somehow they were influenced by that culture. And they actually that was actually very instrumental in their interpretation of Islam. And that is just my opinion. I'm actually working on a monograph currently at the moment where I'm authoring a book based on this. And I actually go deeper into the historical underpinnings of Islam at that time to show that this is actually the case. And I do know that a lot of Muslims are not happy about it, but that's okay because we do need, we do need alternative views. We need religious pluralism. We need different ideas. And that is so important, more especially if we are to coexist. So that's
Are you
just my
familiar with
take.
the history of Islam, Queenie, or whatever your name is? Sorry, I
Yeah,
just didn't see the full name. Are you
I
familiar
do.
with the
I am.
history of Islam?
Yes, I am, especially.
Okay, so did Islam go through a period of pluralism and a period of inclusive, etc.? Did it?
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No,
And
it
that's
didn't.
yes, it did. And this is your unfamiliarity with it. And this is why I said, are you familiar with it? So Islam went through a liberal state. The Umayyad is an example of it. And then it went on, and then
What
please
do you
mute up.
mean?
Please
What do you
mute
mean
up.
by
Please mute up.
pluralism?
Look, if you don't know what you're talking about, then please let me explain. Then Ahl Salaf, or the Salafi movement, reformed Islam. So Islam already have went through reformation already. Islam already went through the movement of being reformed. It went from extremist or like Salafi to liberal, and then went back to Salafi, because they're like, whoa, 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 this is not Islam. We need to reform it back to where it was. And so Islam went from the Islam we're talking about to a liberal version of it, and then went back to the same version. Now you guys are spoon-fed the idea that it's possible for Islam to be reformed, except, forgive the language here, that's part of your ignorance, because Islam already went through reformation. Islam can only be reformed
What
to
exactly
be more
do you
extreme.
mean? What exactly do you mean by the fact of reformation? When you say
So
Islam
again,
went through reformation,
Islam can only be,
and what do you
Islam
mean by
can,
liberalism?
okay, Islam cannot be in a liberal, inclusive, or pluralist in any sense, because the scripture and the writing restrict Islam from that movement. Islam cannot be modified except to be more extreme and extreme and extreme. You can only go more extreme, we cannot go more liberal, if that makes sense. Because again, when they swayed away to actually be more liberal, Islam brought it back to be like, no, 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 no. This is not what the books teach. The books teach otherwise. Beat up your women, discriminate against non-believers, discriminate against the pagans, discriminate against the Christians, the Jews, and etc., etc. We are the superior. This is the Reformation. This was the Reformation of Islam, not what you're thinking.
Well, I have a different view, and I do understand and I respect your sentiments over there.
It's not my
But what I
sentiment, it's a
can,
fact.
no,
So please
those
make
are
a
your
distinction between
sentiments.
facts and
But what I can say,
wait, hold
we
on.
can agree to disagree, okay?
What do you mean disagree to disagree? Okay, is it history or not? Is
No,
the
it's not.
Salafi
No,
movement?
you're distorting it.
I'm distorting
understand.
it.
No, I understand that the Salafi movement, it's not a long time that this so-called Salafi movement
Is that a
came
reformation of
into
Islam? Yes or no?
existence.
Is that a
The
reformation of
Salafi
Islam?
movement came
Is
according
that
to
a
them.
reformation? Please answer the question. Is that a reformation of Islam? Yes or no?
Yes, it is to an extent. However, there's nuances, and we need to take those nuances into account. Yes, if you want, you can call it whatever you want, a reformation. You can call it, them coming into, to rethink the ideology or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that it's a bit more nuanced than that. But besides, this is a complex topic, and
it is a complex.
it is very complex.
Does Islam
and
allow? Let's ask you this question: does Islam scripture allow for liberalism in
it
it?
does not.
Okay,
Scripturally,
so the only
it
way
does not.
to reform Islam is to basically take rid of scripture.
I'm not saying it. No, it comes down to interpretation. And remember what I said. I said
Excuse
the
me?
interpretation.
All right, let me. I don't even know where we are.
Okay,
let me just reset just a little bit.
Let's read here 2 verses.
I just want to see
let's
something real quick.
2 verses.
Are you
Okay,
saying
sorry,
Islam can be reformed, Queenie?
Well, what I'm saying is, yes, I do still believe that Islam can be reformed.
No, not possible.
If they really look at the interpretation,
No,
that
no,
is
no.
what I truly do believe.
You said can or
you
can't?
can't reform.
I'm just. I didn't hear what you say. Did she say it can't or she can't? It can be reformed. Which one did she say?
He says it can, but that's not true. She's talking out of her ignorance, because it's kufr. All scholars agree. It's unanimous. If you want to reform Islam, hold on. If you want to reform Islam, that's bid'ah, and bid'ah is kufr, and kufr leads you to shirk. So you're a mushrik and a kafir and an enemy of Allah. So you're already out of Islam the moment you talk about
There's good bid'ah and there's bad bid'ah. According to Islam, bid'ah, there's two different types of bid'ah. So the bid'ah is the innovation of the bid'ah. If it is
so changing Islam is good bid'ah?
It is not changing, it's reforming. My point that I'm trying to make is, I'll give you an example, right?
Reforming is not changing?
Can I give you an example? Do you
Guys,
know?
you heard it correctly. Reforming is not changing.
Hey, lady, you better stay in the West, man, because you're in trouble if you go across them waters.
Can I give you an example? Like the early Hanafis, you know, Imam Abu Hanifa is, you know, one of the scholars of Islam, the most prominent
Yeah, we know
scholars.
him, yes.
So during the time
he's the one who allows you to sleep with your mother, grandmother, your sister, your daughter. That's the Imam Abu Hanifa, yes.
You know, can I just finish?
Yeah, continue. I'm only giving you an idea who Imam Abu Hanifa is. Continue.
My point that I'm trying to make.
Because you asked me, do you know him? So I said yes.
Okay, fine. My point that I'm trying to make is, for the early Hanafis, if you look, right, they permitted drinking of alcohol because according to their interpretation was that you can drink, but if you drink till you become intoxicated, then it becomes haram. But then what happened was, you know, there were other rival schools like the Shafi school, the Hanbali school, the Maliki school that was against that. And then afterwards, the Hanafis then, you know, leaned towards that. And, you know, all the scholars came out and said, no, alcohol in its totality is wrong. Even if you drink of it and you don't become intoxicated, then it's still haram. So my point that I'm trying to make is, when we...
Your point.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No. My point
let her make her point. I'm dying at this point. I'm genuinely
down to the interpretation.
Yeah. Okay. Queenie, I'm dying to know. I'm genuine here. To your understanding how Islam can be reformed in more devastating matters. Like nobody cares if someone drinks or does substance abuse. Honestly, I don't. Like you can be. Like that's not my concern. You bring in the least impactful thing on society for others. I mean, it does impact. Don't get me wrong. Like we wouldn't want to get entangled too much into that.
You know, that's just an example.
Okay, please. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the most devastating things, such as you know, sleeping with pubescent children and like subjugating the Christians and the Jews and fighting them, etc. How can that be reinterpreted? How could it possibly, when I have an actual clear verses demanding jihad talab, like offensive jihad, uncaused and instigated, these things are there and they cannot be reinterpreted. You can't change words that mean a thing. Like it just can't be possible. No, there's no interpretation, there's no grammar, and there's no linguist that can get the Quran out of this problem. You understand that, right? There's no linguist
I see where you're coming from.
that can do that.
I see where you're coming from. However, what I can say to you is that I still do believe that, you know, Muslims nowadays, and more especially the new generation, are well informed and they're more sensible to know that they need to, you know, abide by secular rules.
That's why 24% of Muslim youth are apostating. That's why you have an apostasy problem, not a reform. They just apostate. They just leave.
Yeah.
Basically, look what her response to my objection. She said, basically, stick your head in the sand and pretend those verses don't exist. That's exactly what you said, like in a more like a word salad type of thing, that you just adhere to the rules of the society you live in and but that means not acknowledging what the Quran says.
Yo, y'all. Somehow you need to make that. I'm gonna cut you off.
Let's
Go
forget
ahead.
about it.
Somehow you need to make that a brand, bro. You need to make
way.
that 20 part of the 24%. You need to make that a shirt, bro, and sell it.
Think about it. Can I ask you something? Think about it this way. You know, no Muslim follows Islam to the T. You know, I mean, some
them
of the
ISIS boys. You know what I'm saying? They close.
So like, if
them boys is cutting the heads off.
So in other words,
Muhammad
guys,
said.
listen carefully to what she said. Nobody follows Islam to the T. That means all of you are kuffar and bunch of hypocrites. You're only Muslim by name. Exactly.
So Queen,
I'm not
would you
saying that. I'm saying it's more nuanced than that.
Queen, can I be honest with you though, Queen? Why don't we just reform Islam and just all the Muslims become Christians? Why don't you help us with that instead of worry about reforming Islam?
Yeah, we're
this
gonna
is gonna
purify
die.
it, yeah.
Like it's gonna die. If 24% of Muslim youth continue to apostate year over year, your religion's gonna do what Muhammad said. It's gonna go back into a cave where it came from. It's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, Hasmo, read Sahih Muslim 146. That's exactly what it says.
But yeah, guys, that's honestly convenient though. I mean, you can go from like, oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna crack a quick joke real quick. We'll be back. But like, that's convenient though. That means you can do like Surah 434 in Texas, but then you go cross over to Mississippi. Then you can't do it anymore.
That's funny. But look, Queen, the issue is why salvage the unsalvageable?
Yep.
Why? The question is, why salvage something that is unsalvageable when we have an alternate worldview? And this is the gospel message. There's an alternate worldview where it teaches to love your neighbors, teaches to love your wife, teaches that you don't have to love only your kind. Why do we have to salvage the unsalvageable when we have the message of Christianity that is 10 times, not 10 times, infinitely better than Islam as a worldly worldview, and also offer salvation at the end of the road, where you will be promised heaven, guaranteed. It's not an if and but and maybe. This is a guaranteed thing. So again, why salvage the unsalvageable that will lead you to hell? Instead, how about we upgrade to something a lot better, live by better morality, live by better worldview, and then ultimately live with our Creator?
You know, when you think about that, yeah, now that you're saying that, when I think about it, there were more Christians. Like I come from a Muslim background, but when I think about it now, that makes a lot of sense because, I found that, this is just my experience, that there were more Christians that were more loving and kind to me, compared to Muslims, and.
Wow, I wonder why.
No, I'm just saying.
They're showing you the love of Christ, sister. They're showing you the love of Christ. Christ told us to, love our neighbors as ourselves. Yeah. So, we're supposed to, treat others, the way that we would want to be treated. Amen.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I haven't thought of it that way, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it makes so much sense. I do find that generally Christians are much more loving and caring.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Could it be because of Jesus Christ?
That's it.
And not Muhammad?
Think probably it could be. They could be influenced by the teachings of maybe Jesus.
Queen.
Because I mean, even the Quran says that Jesus was sinless. Jesus.
So why would you follow? Why would you follow a sinful man like Muhammad and reject Jesus? Why would you do that to yourself?
But I'm not following Islam. That's what I said. I'm not a practicing Muslim. I'm not.
So you're not even a Muslim. Okay.
Yeah, so basically, maybe
we can get a Muslim up here. You see,
for sure.
Do you see what I mean?
We'll get a Muslim.
We're still telling about the gospel, guys. Let's give it a little.
Yeah, Queenie.
We can bring it to the truth of Christ. At the end of the day, there's no other way but Christ, sister. That's the only solution for anybody who's outside of the truth.
Yeah, but
there's no peace in the world until we're all walking cross-like.
Can I just say it was I have to go now, but it was a very interesting conversation. Imagine if I had this conversation with a bunch of Muslims, they'd be all aggressive towards me by now and they'll be fighting me.
But
Queen,
see,
They wonder why.
I just want to implore you to do one thing before you leave, Queen.
and come
please,
back, Queenie.
and I
Follow me
beg
and
you.
come back to the live. I'm gonna follow you. Come back to
Yeah,
the
come back.
live.
I will. I've
Yeah.
just followed
Yeah,
you.
for sure, sister.
And do the same. And look, I really implore you to do one thing. Please download the Bible app as soon as you can. It's that simple. Start reading the Gospels. Start reading the book of Matthew. And then when you come across the Sermon of the Mount, I need you to read it over and over again.
Yeah.
And then think for yourself for a moment. Did I ever hear something like this in Islam?
Yeah.
Just do that for me. And then come back and ask us questions, please. Because we are motivated not by hate, but by love. And the fact that Christ is real. Christ is our sacrifice and he has risen. Our God is true and he's a living God. So just please take a look at this, read it, come back. And then if it moves you, maybe you should go visit a church.
Yeah.
God bless you, sister. You'll be in our prayers.
Thanks
You'll
so
be in our
much.
prayers.
God bless.
We'll definitely be praying for you.
Come back,
you.
come back,
Come back and see us.
Thanks.
Guys, I wanna read a hadith for you because I can't stay much longer on the panel. I have to do something here. But I wanna talk about a hadith, and I want everybody to think about it. And the Muslims who are listening, I know that a lot of Muslims are listening, so I want to think, ask them to think as well. And please, I know you hate us with a passion. I know that you despise us for reading your books and sources, but I want you to think with me here. Let's read. So give me the screen, brother host, if you don't mind. Sure. Let's think about what Muhammad said and how the scholars interpret certain hadiths. And this hadith, maybe you've seen it before, maybe you haven't, but this is a very interesting hadith for maybe a lot of people. As you see, this hadith is sahih, authentic, sound narration in Sunan al-Nasa'i, hadith number 1, the very first hadith in Sunan al-Nasa'i, collection of hadith. It says, it was narrated from Abu Hurairah that Muhammad said, the Prophet of Islam said, when any one of you wakes from sleep, let him not dip his hand in water he uses for his wudu, for his ablution water, okay, until he has washed it 3 times. So make sure to wash your hand 3 times before you dip your hands in the wudu water, in the ablution water. For none of you knows where his hand spent that night. Again, for none of you knows where his hand spent that night. So let's see how the scholars has interpreted this hadith, and specifically the last part of the hadith. Where was his hand that night? In Faid al-Qadir, volume 1 by al-Munawi, okay, and here is the cover of the book. Faid al-Qadir, okay, or al-Qadir, Faid al-Qadir, forgive me. On page 359, look what it says. And now he said in his Bustan from Muhammad ibn al-Fadl at-Taymi in his commentary on Sahih Muslim, because the hadith is also found in Sahih Muslim, that when some of the innovators heard this hadith, meaning the hadith that we just read, they said mockingly, so they started to mock Muhammad, the innovators. I know where my hand spent that night. It was in my bed. So he woke up and he had inserted his hand into his,
Gosh.
up to his elbow.
What?
This is what Muhammad meant. If you sleep at night, you don't know where your hand went, so your hand could be up your elbow in your anus. The beauty of Islam, the beauty of Muhammad.
Can you read the explanation again, please?
No way.
He woke up وقد أدخل يده في دبره إلا ذراعه, all the way up to his elbow. He put it where the sun doesn't shine. This is the explanation of the Prophet. These are the words of the Rasul, guys. You don't know where you put your hand. Maybe it was up there. And I rest my case, guys. You see, but are you not convinced that Islam is the truth?
Yeah, exactly. What is this? This is madness.
This is the explanation, for example, Sunan al-Nisa'i, volume 1, hadith number 1, and also the hadith in Sahih Muslim 2788a. And here's the hadith. So it's a similar hadith. This is the explanation by the scholars who explained what Muhammad meant. Look, when anyone amongst you wakes up from his sleep, he must not put his hand in the utensil, meaning the container, till he has washed it 3 times, for he does not know where his hand was during the night. Sahih Muslim 278a. So you see, this hadith is so important, so famous, that it's mentioned everywhere. And here's the explanation.
That's crazy work. I'm honestly starting to believe that Jabril
I have a
came to
question.
Muhammad.
Did he do it?
And did he?
Did he do it to himself, or was he doing it to someone else?
Well, clearly, if Muhammad says you don't know where your hand went up, he meant his own anus.
My question is, how the hell do you not wake up from that? This man
Only in Islam.
Did he?
Only in Islam. You know why?
Gabriel got that man daydreaming.
You asked a very important question, brother. Because Muhammad was ridden by the Qawm al-Zut, by the thousands and thousands of naked jinn. So his anus was so wide, he didn't even notice it. That's why.
Did he?
Did he? Yeah,
Diddy
he
bop.
crossed the Diddy line.
He did that Diddy bop.
God bless you guys.
God bless you,
God
Rob.
bless.
Y'all tell you, that lady made a good point, man, though. Listen, man, we're just going to reform Islam to Christianity. Like, that's just it. We don't need to reform it. We're going to reform it to Christianity. I'm glad it clicked with her. But yeah, that was crazy. Up to his elbow. That's some real
Rob's
Diddy action.
Christian always comes in clutch.
That's a fact.
Muhammad Diddy.
I'm telling you, bro.
God bless him.
God bless. You know, I'm always asking, can somebody give me a witness, right? Like a witness that spoke to Jabril outside of Muhammad? I think that witness is Diddy. Honest to God. I think Diddy is the only other person.
Bro, you know what's crazy,
Jabril.
bro? If you go look up, bro, if you watched the case, bro, this man was making male strippers wear hijabs. No cap.
I saw it.
No
Yeah,
cap.
you're right. You
This
had
man
it. Yeah,
Diddy was making male strippers wear hijabs, bro.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Yo,
Work.
what in the?
All right, guys. Any more Muslims want to hit the request button? All right, on YouTube, the request button there as well. If you're on TikTok and you haven't yet, go to the YouTube, sub to the YouTube, so you never miss a live, guys. Even if you miss, you can just go back and watch it. It's all there. You know, it's all there. But yeah, I might start that movement, man. Yeah, just to reform Islam to what? Christianity. We're going to reform Islam to Christianity. All we got to do is catch that 24%. Catch that 24% of Muslim youth who are apostating from Islam and bring them into the truth.
Oh yeah, well, like that's easy. You can find a majority of them in the United States. They're like already walking around these streets.
Yeah, 24%. No, you know what I
Either
honestly
that or
believe.
they're not much of a Muslim at all.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I went to a Houston Rockets game one time, right? Because they're like really good down here. I mean, I normally just drink water when I when I watch these things. That was back in the time, back when I was in the army. That was when I was an atheist, like worst time ever. Every day I was drinking with a day that ended with Y. But no, like I just observe these games, and then I see like some of these like Muslimas and Muslims, right? I saw one wearing a hijab with like these like baggy jeans, but she was like hammering a Miller Lite at the same time. and this does not look like it goes together, but it's okay, whatever. Keep your secrets.
Philly Muslim, baby. Houston Muslim too, I suppose.
She was slamming down beers while watching the Rockets go at it. I'm like, that's haram, but okay.
Haram. She don't care what's haram. But go ahead, Paul.
I just don't want this to go. Yeah, I just don't want this to go amiss. So let's just remind everyone, Islam already went through Reformation. For example, that drinking, etc. The Reformation happened because of that. And like more liberal views, and then the Salaf has come around and reformed Islam. So Islam has already went through Reformation.
So they got rid of all that, but they never reformed the racism in it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like it's already been through Reformation. There's no Reformation for Islam anymore.
Let's bring them to Christ. Reform Islam to Christianity. That's it. No more Islam.
I was on this live one time in freaking February. I was chopping up with one of my apologist friends on YouTube, and the topic of the live was, since it was February, it's like being a Muslim on Black History Month is a contradiction, and man, that got some feathers ruffled right there.
Crazy work.
Good old Sahih Muslim 1602 says otherwise.
No, that's not gonna happen. I'm not lying. I truly believe that as the Gulf, because I don't know, Syria is gonna be hard, right? Certain countries gonna be hard. But as the Gulf continues to westernize, we're gonna be able to preach the gospel. And before I turn 35, in the next 10 years, I think we'll be able to preach the gospel in the Gulf, man. I truly believe this.
Bro, speaking of Syria, did you see the leader of HTS come to the White House?
Did he come to White?
Yeah. Wow, didn't see that one coming, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But here's what
he met with Trump. Hold on, let me. I don't know if he came to the White House, but I know for sure he met with Trump.
I think Trump met with him when he was over there. You know, he was in Qatar.
Along with Qatar. But here's what I'm concerned about. So Syria is a complex situation. You can make an argument for both, but I don't think lifting the sanctions was the best idea. They lifted sanctions on a regime that's slaughtering Christians in Syria right now. I don't think that was I would have put sanctions on conditional that they swap the government out, because they're just unaliving Christians left and right.
You can't.
I just want.
Go ahead.
I just want to say something real quick, right? This guy who exchanged his ISIS uniform for a suit would have never been able to take over Syria if America, Israel, and Turkey weren't in on it, because there's a lot of money there. So the only reason why he is where he is today is because America is allowing him to be there. So they're going to lift the sanctions because he's going to be a puppet for America.
Yeah, they lifted the sanction already. Like we're on the same side of this argument. I'm just saying, from the outside looking in, you got the rest of the world minus the U.S. saying, "Oh, they get to rebuild after the destabilized global south." I'm like, hold on a second, though. Do you think the people that you want, they're going to lift the sanctions and keep all the money and continue to slaughter Christians?
Let's just.
I mean, he met him in
Syria.
He met him in Saudi. That's where he met him.
That makes sense.
But
you guys know
my
why,
point is
right?
this: he's making a big deal, which I agree. You know, anybody that's suffering persecution, you know, should definitely have an opportunity to lead that country. But you know, like you can't turn a blind eye to the Syrians, you know, and then not turn a blind eye to the South Africans when the Syrians are having to deal with it at a much higher level.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Africans that are supposedly getting persecuted with no evidence. Yeah, he called it the white G-side. It's crazy.
Kill the boy, the farmer. Kill the boy, the farmer. That's it. That's kind of wild though, to chant "kill people." I'm not gonna catch
that. Is wild.
It's a little wild.
That really messed him up by saying that.
To you. It's a little crazy. You know, it's a little wild.
Yeah, but they walking Christians like dogs in Syria.
That's true. Listen, just take over. Listen, bro, just take over Syria. I mean, all this we.
But America's supporting him.
Just take it over, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul. My bad.
So politicians aren't playing virtuous or religious by any means. So to them, it doesn't matter what religion they are, etc., etc. They're not representing any religious view. The main interest in Syria was always the struggle of pipelines from the GCC area in Saudi Arabia, like Qatar, Dubai, etc. Saudi Arabia, pipelining to Europe. That and Hafiz al-Assad and Bashar al-Assad weren't allowing these things because Russia would not allow it, because Russia had a pipeline already to Europe, and it's going through Ukraine, etc., and Black Sea, and all these things. Anyways, it gets more complex.
All right, guys, we way off topic on TikTok. Sometimes I should let some people up because they go a little crazy, but it's okay. God bless. We way off topic though, so I'm gonna end here so we can keep the page what it's supposed to be. But God bless, man. We'll be back tomorrow. 10 a.m. We're a little short today, only 2.5 hours, a little short. But God bless, man. I hope y'all come back tomorrow. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, like the live minute, and check out all our videos. We drop videos every day at 3 p.m. on this page. Every day, 3 p.m. Nazarene Remnants for the Blights, new clips, Monday through Friday, lives, Monday through Friday. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It'll be the Q&A.